Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. It's time for some late night Warhammer. We do have a tournament, and we are now in the top four, so should be quite a bit of fun. I actually decided to play in today's tournament as well, and I am somehow magically made it to the top four playing some Nurgle games. So we are here in the first match of the day. Let's go ahead and switch on over. Is going to be my Kislev against the Ogre Kingdoms of Umais. So that is it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to take a look here at ye old tavern. Let's see the breakdown, tail of the tape, see who did well today, and check it out. So on the top side, we have Houseplant versus Neil Batman Freak. Now, what's really interesting about this matchup is both of these individuals, I believe, have yet to lose a tournament on the website. So they're very high up in the leaderboard. Let's actually go check. So I think they're both in the top 16. Yeah, Houseplant is currently number 2, and he's 18 wins with 0 losses. That's super impressive. And he also defeated Anticity earlier today, if I'm not mistaken, so that's no small feat. And then we have Batman Freak, who is currently number 7 on the leaderboard with an 8-0 record. So it's going to be super fun. We have 2 undefeated players playing on the top side of the bracket. And then this is the first tournament I played on the website. So I'm obviously nowhere near here, but I'm going to be facing off against Umais, who I think is also just getting into the tournament website play as well. So yeah, it should be fun, man. I kind of sometimes I figure I'll sign up for the tournaments and just play Nurgle, but I didn't expect to make it this far, so I'm just gonna have to play it live. So I usually don't give a ton of commentary like when I'm competing in a tournament, but I'll try my best today to give you guys some good action and all that. So yeah, a lot of scary players here in the top 4, and I will check with Umais and let him know I'm ready whenever he is. Sounds good. Ready. All right. So it looks like he's about good to party. So we'll give it a couple more minutes, let some people gather up, and then we'll start this game. But yeah, today's tournament was pretty fun. We managed to get, I think, over 30 people to sign up, and it was only like an hour and a half, 2 hours notice. We just kind of announced it, and 2 hours later, we had a really fun event going on, so that's quite cool. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what our schedule is. I think tomorrow might be Age of Empires 4, like trying to play some competitive games. Maybe a day off, we're not sure yet. How's it going, Brian? Hope you're doing well, man. And we got Steven here, we got the whole crew. Good morning from Scotland. Yeah, it's got to be pretty early for you, man. Goodness gracious. So, first game is going to be my Kislev versus Ogres, which I like that matchup because it's a matchup in which the war sleds aren't really good anyway, so then you don't really feel like you're using just some super broken stuff to win. You're a wizard, Harry. Yeah, Umais is really, really good. He's an incredibly solid tournament player. We played quite a bit back in Warhammer 2, him and I. We had some Duel of Fates. I'm not sure how much he's played so far in Warhammer 3. I know he wrote a really good Cathay guide. Unfortunately, Cathay is just like a potato tier faction, but Umais is an amazing player and also a really good guy on top of that. Yeah, this is his first tournament too, so he's currently 3-0, just like myself. Yeah, we're both 3-0 here. Everyone technically in the top 4 is undefeated today, but of course, both Umais and I have not true representations of the status quo there. So yeah, it should be fun. We'll have our grand finals of season 1 coming up probably, I don't know, soonish. And the individuals who are on the top 16 of the leaderboard will be invited to a grand event. So right now, if we were to just jump at the end of the season, my developer is on vacation right now, but when he gets back, we're going to be adding a bunch of stuff for information on the seasons and how that will work. But if we had our big Chungus tournament right now, it would be all of these folks in the top 15 or top 16 technically that would be qualifying for the grand finals. 2 a.m. just finished your AoE 4 games. Nice, man. Yeah, that was a really fun event. And we got someone from Jamaica as well, 8:05 p.m. All right, man. So time zone's working out for you. How's it going, Melody? Yes, you're here in the absolute beginning of the event. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. Let's fire up the game. We're going to be on Battle for Itza. It's going to be Kislev versus Ogre Kingdoms. I actually just played this matchup. This was in the previous round. I played I played Khorne first round. I won with Khorne against Ogres, and I won with Nurgle against Khorne, and then the third one was Kislev against Ogres, which went pretty well. Went pretty well indeed. But now we have this one, but Umais is a ferocious foe for sure, so I part of me secretly wants him to win just so I can start casting the event, not have to worry about playing a best of 5, but we're not going to give it easy, that's for sure. Yeah, Houseplant's been absolutely killing it lately. There was another tournament on the Tavern last night, which was a big one, had a lot of great players, and Houseplant won that tournament as well. So if Houseplant actually wins today's tournament, he'll be overtaking Voidlaws for the number 1 spot, which is really, really, no small feat. I mean, winning 4 tournaments is quite big. All right, so Wookie, thank you. Appreciate it. And here we are. It's the Battle for Itza. Pretty open map, so shooting is good. You can get stuffed in your deployment zone a little bit. You have to be careful, but Kislev isn't an easy one to stuff back like Cathay because they actually have stopping power. Like Cathay doesn't really have the capabilities of doing that. Oh my god, there's like explosions going off in the background and stuff with the map. It's a me, it's a. All right, so let's get this going. We went with 2 Zargard for our combo. I feel like they're pretty good against ogres. A little bit vulnerable to being shot at by like iron blasters, but overall they hold really, really well. And they, in my experience, they're just solid. The basic Kossars are also good. These guys have, you know, their pistol shots, but like Zargard will beat the brakes off of any ogre bull units. I don't know how they do. I'm pretty sure that Iron Guts will beat them. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But we have a couple Snow Leopards. Little Grom is just always super good against Ogre Kingdoms, especially since the deployment zone is literally right here. So I could just like start bombarding. I almost went with double Little Grom, but I feel like that would have been a little bit too much. Like a little bit too gimmicky there. So we got the Patriarch plus the Ice Witch. Ice Witch does have the Snow Leopard summon, and then we have 2 more Snow Leopards. So Snow Leopards are the best unit on the roster against Ogres. Like just this dedicated anti-large like Hunter of Worlds, right? And you just do that. So yeah, whenever he's ready, we can get this going. Houseplant's been doing great. Been doing really good. Hey, Platypus, how you doing? Houseplant is going to win the whole thing. Yeah, no, good. It's always great to have someone just be like this undefeatable terror in the night, because then when we get to the grand finals of season 1, which is what we're in right now, I got to start updating the streams to say like season 1 or whatever. You know, then it's cool. You have this like narrative, right? You have this player who's undefeated, and like other folks can challenge him, and there can be upsets. I think that's really, really good. I think it's really good indeed. All right, so I think we're ready. Okay, he says ready, good luck, have fun. All right, good luck, have fun. Let's do it. So first things first, we need to assess his army, see what we want to shoot with Little Grom. Iron Blaster's a good target. Even if he's dodging, it like forces him to move, right? So looks like it's going to be Lead Belchers. Oh my god, that is actually kind of scary. It's got like a ton of Lead Belchers, jeez. All right, so do we stay out of range? I think we do for now. We can just like pull you guys back, and we can pull you guys back this way. Yeah, there you go. So we gotta avoid some of the shooting if we can. We could send in another Snow Leopard. Little Grom's gonna definitely pop these guys relatively well, but they're gonna close the distance, so we need to get our Snow Leopards up to kind of like nibble on them and cause some problems. You guys can shoot here. Let's go ahead and drop a Snow Leopard. Summon right there, and just send it in to like tarp it a little bit, right? That's gotta be the plan. All right, so let's go nibble. Let's go say hello. Snow Leopard's coming in, and the Goon Squad is here. And I think what we do is we use the, did I bring the Death Frost? I didn't. Nah, that was a little bit newbie of me. All right, so we force them back for now. Our character squad is here, but we can just kind of, again, let these Snow Leopards try and cause problems wherever they can. Several of the shooting units are in danger. Now we can move up our main army, and it's time to summon in some units. So let's go ahead and summon another Leopard and some shooting. Move them up, and the Leopards need to be in Group 3. So Group 3, yes, the Leopard squad. Okay, some of these guys pushed in pretty aggressively here, so we can actually fight them with the Snow Leopards, no problem. We get the Patriarch to move over as well. Little Grom can keep blasting away and hopefully having some success. And let's go ahead and send in a little bit of support here and see what we can do. So we'll get the prayers in there. We're definitely getting canned by some of the shooting now. Let's go ahead and summon another shooty boy. Move up. And the blob fight is exactly what we want. This is great for us. Do we want to give any buffs? I don't think so. Could do Ice Sheet for any additional reinforcements. Hard to say. All right, get you guys here. You guys are chilling. You guys blast there. And do we have any like Streltsy or anything? I didn't really bring any. That's a bit of a shame. All right, let's, you know, screw the shooting. The shooting isn't actually that devastating. So we can just get our big, disgusting Kislev blob right now, and then we can just use all the different combat buffs, right? All right, there we go. Good. You guys move up. Looks great. Do we have Snow Leopards that we could actually get back into that fight? We don't want to overextend into hostile territory, but I feel like this pit fight here for us is going quite good. We'll summon in another Zargard unit. Move it up. And there we go. And you guys fight here. How's the blob going? We're a little bit trapped up, actually. We do have some spells to push off the Noblars, so let's do that. Looks fine to me, and we do break the back of those units. Great. So let's get Zargard moving up here. You guys can scoot up and start shooting there, and you guys can start shooting here as well. All right, so all's good in the realm. Let's go ahead and use this little slow here just to trigger the passive, and we'll get some Zargard moving this way, and now we just need to kind of start saturating the battlefield with whatever we can. All right, how's the blob fight going? Let's pop the heal. It's going to be pretty good. Like, taking blob fights against Kislev is very, very risky for sure. Especially when there's just a rock-hard Patriarch right there just cackling in the night. And these Zargard, quite damaged for sure. These guys should be able to wrestle that objective, and we need to start, like, yeah, playing the objective game. All right, let's move you guys up. I think the Zargard here will do the trick, and Little Grom should be able to finish off those cav there. How are we looking? Yeah, and these guys can move here. All right, so the blob fight's obviously going to go in our favor, I think, and we still have prayers and magic and different things like that we can use. Let's just pop this to proc the passive for Kislev, which is quite good. We got some Iron Guts moving in. How do we want to deal with this? Yeah, so Nobblar's doing their jams. You guys can go shoot here. Objectives still have yet to open up, but I think our little Snow Leopard blob here is going to be a little bit too much to handle. We need to get some infantry support on there as well. And what are these? Iron Guts. Yeah, Iron Guts are going to be a little bit problematic for sure. Okay, so let's pop the ice sheet, see if we can get this character back. We're moving up and go here. What we need is Warbear Riders at this point. Yeah, nice play from you, Mize there. We need to move up on this if we can. All right, you guys here, you guys here. Infantry, just pile in and help out. The Snow Leopards are doing their thing. We definitely need to pop whatever, buffs we can get. But we're going to fall behind on objectives for sure. I think we are behind on value too. Wow, we're actually behind on value. It must be those shooty boys in the back. Very, very good play. All right, so now we keep blasting. Do we have any heals coming up? Not yet. And where are those Warbear Riders at? We really need them as like a sweeper unit to get in there. All right, melee attack buff. Come on, give me the Warbears. Some of the bears. All right, the bears are here. Here they come. Should be able to deal with those Iron Guts, no problem. And I think we win this blob fight slowly but surely. And the Patriarch's heals coming off cooldown soonish. Yeah, and these are spears too. What's cool is, yeah, like I said, they're spears, so they're gonna do some work. Little Grom is obstructed. Little classic potato play. Hopefully we can push over and get this objective soon. Although they just unlocked. Now we got Warbear Riders getting in Iron Guts, which is pretty prime time. Send back the injured guys just to try and get a little bit of a recycling going. Great, so we broke that formation. Let's see if we can take these guys down. We have our very scary Kislev blob, and the Warbear Riders should do well here, especially since they have a little bit of infantry support. Unfortunately, we have like nothing to go after those guys in the back. We should probably take our little Snow Leopards that way. Zargard go here, Patriarch blob go here. Do we have the heal off cooldown? We do, so let's pop that, get the heal. Great, so Snow Leopard man, let's get you jumping there. And yeah, the Warbear Rider's getting dunked on by his shooting, which is really actually quite surprising. All right, Zargard move up. We're pretty behind on value, man. Very impressed with the triple opening from the gut boys. Yeah, they're doing very good. All right, so how are we doing here? Let's shoot there. And you guys just move up here. Maybe like a double little Grom opening would have actually been super strong here, but how could I have known he was going to have such witchcraft? All right, we need to move over to this objective now. Hopefully he'll just run out of ammo. That's like the worst like defensive. Ooh, nice power fist right there. Hoping your opponent's gonna run out of ammo. Like, yeah, maybe he'll shoot me in the face enough to eventually, give us a chance, right? So the bears are broken, most likely, but they've gotten the Iron Guts a little bit lower. Can we send back our missiles? Not quite. Patriarch blob is still, like, that's what's keeping us in the game, is the Patriarch blob for sure. We're gonna get that side objective, but Ogre bulls with dual weapons. Yeah, and how's he doing on shooting? Yeah, they're all pretty healthy, honestly. I haven't been able to shut him down, which is a shame. I have not been able to shut him down. All right, let's attack those Saber Tusk packs. We have the old little Grom just hustling away, but that's never a good sign when it's having to run from these boar things. Our bears got punished. We got the side objective, which is great, and it's pretty much all we have going for us is this. So let's keep this goon squad together at least and see if we can accrue some value. All right, let's clear out Nobblars. Should do good. We got Zargard moving up. We have these guys, which we can send back. See if we can save this chariot, and we'll probably get some Winged Lancers in here just to hammer them down. Winged Lancers will do good. All right, so Zargard, you guys move up in the middle. We'll keep fighting over on this objective, and do we have it right now? We do, but he's got a lot of like actual chaff units on it. Yeah, we could use Frostblades. Pop that. Let's get the heals going. It's going to heal up our little Snow Leopards, which are quite damaged right now. Couple Horse Archers. Yep, let's go for a little Vanguard pressure up on the top objective. It's pretty much what we got here, because we're very, very pushed back right now, and I just can't deal with his shooting. Maybe double little Grom would have been the opening, man. Maybe it would have been. It's pretty awesome. Okay, let's do this. We're like a super wide build, maybe with like a ton of shooting. The Zargard were very vulnerable to his tricks and traps. All right, let's get these guys up towards the high ground. I think we got to play that and just hope the Leopard blob is able to kind of carry over here, if we want to have any kind of semblance of a chance here. All right, let's move you guys here. I think we summon in the Winged Lancers. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. All right, move you guys up there. Keep blasting. Get these guys off the objective so we can try and capture it back. Yeah, it did a reasonable amount of damage. Nothing too crazy. We don't really have any tools to send over here. Do I have any like cheap cav? Not really. I just brought too many expensive units. What are these? Ogre bulls? Yeah, they're ogre bulls. Okay. Yeah, the cav should be able to potentially wrestle that objective here. And the Snow Leopard squad, how are you guys doing? I mean, they're fighting on that objective, man. They're very, very scrappy. I don't know if that'll reach, but let's try and slow down those big cav. The artillery has been our biggest saving grace. It's been very, very good this game. The little Grom has just been generating value this entire time. And anything the Ogre send into this blob of ours is just like pretty much dying. Okay, ice switch. Yeah, just do that to trigger the passive, which gives armor to my army. We got the big cab charge down the pipe. Let's get some Kossars. They have spears, so they can hopefully endure this. You guys move up there. And let's go ahead and hammer across and see if we can get on those guys right now. The comeback is upon us, guys. You got to believe in a thing called love. All right, pop those different buffs. We got that objective back, which is nice. Yeah, Yumai's plays like... I should have known. He's a dwarf player, so I should have been like, yeah, there's going to be like a ton of cannons and artillery and all that kind of stuff. Because, yeah, it definitely caught me a little bit off guard. I was used to Ogre bull rushes. Yep. Let's get you guys moving out. No problem. You come up. Start dropping some big shots. We can send back Little Grom now that it's out of ammo. Just little Haggard Nobblars over here occupying like most of my force. I feel like this position has gotten so much work done though. Alright, so let's get the Snow Leopards across, see if we can pick off those Lead Belchers that have returned. The Dark Lord has returned. And Saber Chest Pass has gotten beaten up, but we need to run away for sure. Let's rotate you guys to the middle. You guys rotate to the middle. Snow Leopards jump across. We've claimed this objective, and now we can roam to the middle. We're very, very far behind. This game's probably over, to be honest, but I'm gonna keep scrapping and seeing what I can get done. You never know, man. You never know. Any given Sunday, right? Okay, how are we doing on value? Yeah, he's pretty far ahead. His shooting was just so good, we weren't able to shut it down. Okay, Snow Leopards, let's pull back, get you guys here. And you guys come up, you guys move up. Snow Leopard's done the job. All right, great. So maybe the Snow Leopard's gonna be able to hunt down this character. You guys move up on that objective. And let's go here. Great, and Zargard as well. I think we have some horse archers we can send. We're gonna just use them as like a melee sponge to support our blob. Okay, move up, get on the points. Pretty heavily forced back. We're gonna save for Little Grom one last time, I think. Zargard doing pretty good there. And also the Mournfang Cav with great weapons were kind of a cool inclusion. Yeah. Dude, Yumai's is gonna be a terror once the Chaos Dwarfs come out for sure. You know he'll do them proud. Although I don't know if he wants to betray his Dowie. It's a little bit hard to say. Alright, so moving up on the point. Maybe we'll be able to get that one. Let's get the Warbear Riders. Let's come over here and see if we can get some gooning. You guys head over there, and we're just going to make one last desperate push on the objectives and see if we can get lucky. And do we have any magic? We need some wind spells. You guys know what's coming next game, right? You know Nurgle is on the way. I can't get to the finals of my own tournament and then not play Nurgle for you. Alright, so we got a little wind spell there, which was cute. You guys move up. Nice little power fist there from the Chungus Kingdom's Warbears. Let's get in there. Take him down. Nurgle will be my best and only hope. The Plague God will answer the prayers of his champion. Yeah, he's got the objective. GG, well played, man. It was a good match. It's a really good match. The triple Iron Guts were super good. Super good. Not Iron Guts, the Lead Belchers. I'm not sure how I could have dealt with that. I'm not sure. Maybe with the triple Lead Belcher, because, dude, look at the value they got. I bet it's insane. Yeah, 1,400, 1,200. Oh, not as much as you'd think. I'm curious what really got his value for him, because I guess my Zargard, yeah, my Zargard underperformed pretty heavily. That's what it was. Should have gone wider. This was the exact build I used the previous game against Big B's, who's another one of the top players on the leaderboard, and it worked very well, but not against Yumai's. Little Grom got almost 3,000 value, guys. Super strong, super strong. Snow Leopards, obviously, like, they're just so good. They're just so good, right? They always do well. Warbear Riders almost paid for themselves considering they were getting hammered down. Yeah, the Lead Belchers were good. Iron Guts, like, where did all of his value come from? Mournfang Cav, because he was ahead by quite a bit. I don't really know what did it, though. I think it was just his shooting. I think it was the shooting. Couldn't shut him down, man. I didn't bring a good enough ranged countermeasure. I should have gone 2 Little Groms against that. But again, I don't know how he's going to play, so you can't just say that in retrospect. GG, he played super well, man. So that's game 1. And now he is going to be doing his picks here. And you guys know Big Chungus is coming, right? You know he's going to be here to play. So the next map is going to be Arnheim. There you go. And we're set. This match may have been a loss, but the thumbnail image for this video is a win. That's right. I agree. Saturday Night Fever. Yeah, it's good. GG, well played. Okay, so he picks Nurgle and Khorne on this map. Now, what do we have to choose against those two factions? I could just go Nurgle and then try and, like, force a Nurgle mirror match. Tzeentch is okay against those. Ogre Kingdoms would potentially be good against them. Khorne, he'd probably just go Khorne into Ogre Kingdoms, though. And I'm not very good at Ogres. My mains are really just Nurgle. That's the only one I would say I'm really competitive with. Khorne is just like spam infantry all day. Let's put it to a vote, so you guys can choose what we play here. You guys can choose my fate, and I'm gonna try my hardest, I promise you. Cathay, Nurgle, Ogres. Okay, Cathay, Nurgle, Ogres, or I don't really feel like playing Khorne too much. So we'll do these ones. Cathay against Khorne just feels really bad. That's the only problem. I really, really dislike that matchup. All right, you guys can vote. Next time, take Tempest. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's hard to catch them because a good player like Imai's is going to defend them very, very well, right? He's going to have his troops back there, and he's going to, as soon as I get them something on them, he's going to do it. Hey, you guys get to vote. Tzeentch, I don't really like playing Tzeentch, honestly. I'm not very good at it. Like, if I played Tzeentch, I wouldn't really know what I was doing. The vote is, you'd be surprised. Okay. So somebody in chat's like, this vote is a sham. We know what's coming. And I'm just like, oh no. I'm actually surprised there's not more people voting for Grand Cathay. I'm surprised. I thought Cathay would get a little bit more love here. Yeah, I know Tzeentch is the pick here, but I don't play Tzeentch, so I don't really know what to do. It would just be like kind of, yeah. I don't know how to play Tzeentch very well. I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out. It looks like it's going to be Nurgle, huh? Okay. Nurgle as intended. All right, guys. Nurgle. you guys have chosen. Yeah, Nurgle mirror match would be interesting. I don't really know what to expect there. That would be very, very strange. Do it for Papa. Papa's coming. Shrek is the Ogre Kingdoms. Yeah. Yeah, Cathay really sucks. It's a shame they're so bad. Okay, looks like he's gonna go Khorne, which is good. Yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, so let me get my blocker up. And there's Wookiee Claw. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what else do you want to bring? Yeah, that's probably useful, and then we can get rid of that spell. It's marginally useful. Screw it. All right, so I did play this matchup today. It was against a newer player, so I don't really know if my build is still kind of good, but we'll get to the bottom of it here. All right, I dig it. How excited would you be for Lord of the Rings Total War? Super excited. I'd have a chub for a long time, to say the least. Huh, we could actually try this. This might be kind of something fun. Yeah, could that be useful? No, that feels a little bit janky, guys. And then it becomes a decent SEM. All right. Yeah, this matchup's pretty fun, though. I definitely enjoy it. I feel like it's pretty even, actually. Like, Nurgle has a couple okay matchups now, especially after the changes. There's some respectable ones there. So we'll get you guys. We got this. You ever say Death's Head? They're okay. Yeah, they're okay. I'm not like a huge fan of the Death's Head guys, but they did get buffed recently, and they have more ammo now, so they can potentially do some work, but... Let the Nurglings feast. Okay, here's the funny thing about this, guys. In this matchup I played in the beginning of the tournament, I had my Khorne opponent, who was Harvey, I think, in the second round. He picked what's it called against me? He picked Khorne, and he used double skull cannon, and he actually did a shit ton of damage against my Great Unclean One. I was like, I was like kind of laughing at first. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna work, and then like I started to get a little bit sweaty. I was like, oh, this is like getting like a little bit stressful. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that was something. That was definitely something. All right, so we need you. That should be good. And what else do we need in the army? Yeah, we're just like a little bit tight on resources here. A little bit tight on the resources. Unleash the toads. Let the Nurglings feast. Hey, Ty, thank you for the 10. Don't forget to put your lords on a mount. Yeah, no, I should be good. Don't worry about it. Thank you, though. I do appreciate that. I like would actually be happy to pick Nurgle into Khorne. I'm glad that Umais didn't go for a mirror match, because that's just so shitty. Just like all like miserable and slow and just, yeah. All right. Let's do it, man. Let's get this party started. Hey, really appreciate that donation. Thank you. Go with an all elite exalted plague bearer build. That actually isn't bad. That actually is not bad. Yeah, Arnheim is a fun map. It's funny because neither of us are really range factions, but this is like the map that you would want to play range factions on. Dude, I'm really impressed with Yumai's play against Kislev, against the leopard spam. You know, I feel like maybe I have to be, with Kislev in retrospect, you have to be like cheesier with the leopards. You have to like go after high value targets and like force the blob. Joe really wanted this game. Hey, it's okay, Joe. The game isn't in the best state right now, so I would, you know, waiting is no big problem, right? Like, it'll be a lot better. So you're not missing on too much. When they add the old world back in, it's gonna be pretty darn sweet. Let me see what Yumai's is saying here. He's doing corn, cool. So if I win this, we go to game 3. If he wins it, he will advance on to the grand finals, which is gonna be great. Either way, I'm gonna give it a good old college try, and we'll see what problems we can cause for the corn dogs. We'll have some fun, dude. Gotta bring the unholy hand grenades. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I actually feel like Kislev, even without the war sleds, are really strong. Like against ogres, probably a wider army is better. Yeah, like a bunch of like Kossar archers and things like that you can like press up on the lead belchers with. Khorne needs to get out of the swamp. Khorne against ogres is interesting. It's a scrappy one. Man-eater pistols are really abusive, but I feel like a lot of Khorne players are starting to get used to that. No, Herald, it's a great unclean one. In this matchup, you always go great unclean one, I think, with Nurgle. I mean, you can go with a Herald, but the Mortis engine against like Khorne's really, really, really good infantry quality, I feel it's just too good to pass up on. It's too good to pass up on. And then on the man, I'm really excited to cast the topside games. We have some really, really good players on the top side as well. Yumai's mentioned something about a time constraint, so hopefully he's able to go to the finals. Because if he can't make it, I probably wouldn't play myself. I would just, you know, get somebody who was defeated on a little bit earlier on and grab them back. Maybe the next highest person on the leaderboard would get like an invite back or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. So we got cultists, plague bearers, you know, the works, and also a soul grinder. Now, soul grinder is like kind of a tech piece on this map. We're gonna just hide these little gremlins in the bushes here and maybe try something. But the soul grinder isn't normally in my build. They're not normally in my build. Joe Lim, no, you can't play as Empire right now. Unfortunately, you can't. The Fury spam is real. You have to, yeah, because if you don't shut down the shooting. Dude, I can't wait to just play the old world factions. Get like beastmen running around with like Toroks and shit. It's just going to be super wild, so I'll just ready up. I assume he's probably done already. He's a very, very good player. Yeah, the Great Unclean one definitely can be avoided, but he's still very good. Yeah, Exalted Bloodletters is really good. All right, so let's move up. And what do we got on the high ground? Exalted Bloodletters. So we're just going to go get our Soul Grinder man right here. And yeah, we're gonna live our best life, dude. Probably summon in a Beast of Nurgle, just to have another like good fighter in this army here. All right, so you can go here. You guys move up, and it looks like we got some hounds in here. So let's rip some shots. They are in the trees, but even still, if we could just hit them once or twice, it's worth it. Those are Exalted boys, so you know, I almost went Kugath for you guys. I almost did it. The Dreadlord Kugath almost came from the shadows. Okay, let's see what kind of damage we get here. Pretty respectable. I mean, we at least hit him, so that's good. Alright, so what else do we got? We got Herald of Khorne, Cultists of Khorne. And it looks like they might come in. So we'll attack the Fleshhounds. We got support nearby, so not too big of a deal. And you can see our Soul Grinder actually gets some good work, and we have healing, so no problem. Oh my god, the Soul Grinder's laying a whooping on those guys. Goodness gracious. Let's get some Forsaken. We're just gonna like leave our Nurglings in the bushes there. Dude, look at this Soul Grinder, man. Alright, so let's just posture up. Soul Grinder gave the dirty to them, but he's having to do... Oh, please don't bug out on me right now. Okay, he's doing like a big 360 crab spin. I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, can you get the shots? 1, 2, and 3. I like how rhythmic that is. Alright, so yeah, once again, we're fighting the doggos. We are going to get collapsed on. There's going to be some summons for sure. We hit the Exalted boys. Now we maybe pull back. And what do we want to summon in? Another Beast of Nurgle. I feel like the SEMs will be pretty useful here. Yeah, perfect. Alright, Soul Grinder man. Let's get you back. Keep shooting at those very expensive infantry. Got you chilling here. Got the Great Unclean one to go after that cultist. We have our cultist to go after his cultist. Cultist on cultist action. Alright, so he's gonna retreat. And we're gonna get our fight on the objective most likely. Yeah, it's a pretty scary little blob coming down the hill right there. And unfortunately, we're not fighting on the objective, so yeah, it's gonna be a messy one. All right, is he pulling back? He is. Got spawn coming from all directions. Beasts of Nurgle will happily greet them. Keep shooting at those elite infantry. We gotta like maximize the amount of shooting we get on them. Yeah, that was really good. They're almost dead actually. And now something that could be a sneaky play would be, well, not Plague Toads. Let's focus more on this for now. Okay, so you guys here, you guys here. He doesn't have like a lot of AoE, right? So, all right, so you guys go, you guys go. Yeah, a lot of scary stuff. All right, so let's drop the summons right there. And then up top, we can try the sneakiest of plays. Get you guys going and go get on those Chaos Borders. See what kind of value we can accrue, right? Okay, Bloodletters come in on the back. We have summons, and it looks like the fighting is indeed on. So those are Exalted Bloodletters. The Beast of Nurgle is doing its thing. Pull you around, pull you around. We got summons on summons, and we did manage to rampage one of his units here, which is good. So that's great. And our flyers should be able to rotate up there and get the business. So now let's get you, some Plague Bearers, and we just have to kind of put our faith in the Big Chungus and run away from his summons, because they obviously want a piece, right? So Exalted Bloodletters we can totally attack here. Soul Grinder, let's get you back if we can and get the Crab Man shooting once again. You guys drift across. And the Mortis Engine should be winning this fight, like pretty decisively. We still even have another summon, which is awesome. So Rotflies should be very, very strong here. Looks like he's going to move back up. Let's get you and start shooting at these Bloodletters. Are they summoned? No, they're real. Okay. So that blob fight was pretty decisive for us. I think we're like ahead on value, which in this matchup you can't really afford to have happen. It's definitely very good. All right, so let's run away here. Let's get the Beast of Nurgle hustling this direction. Other Beast of Nurgle can come here, and we can move you over too. We need to like get up on the point though, like hardcore. Yeah, so you guys need to like straight up just like move on the point. There you go. All right. So let's go get our characters. He can attack the cultist. He can attack here. This cultist can stay on, and we're going to get this objective, and the top one will probably be taken too. I'm not sure. It's going to be a little bit tighter. All right, let's shoot those Bloodletters off the point. He's going to go up to a little bit of an early lead on us, but we do have a good value situation going for sure. These Exalted, they're not. Okay, so that's good. That is good indeed. All right, so still ripping shots. Really, really good value there. His Herald is taking a little bit of a beating. Yeah, it's not amazing, but let's just wear him down if we can. All right, so the dogs move in. Let's get the Great Unclean One moving. Get our two Beasts of Nurgle fighting there. And now what we can do is get the Exalted Boys, or maybe Toads actually. Toads will be useful. We can use them to like clean up these infantry. And you guys attack here, you guys attack here, and eventually I think we win that fight up there. Yeah, we got the middle objective back. Soul Grinder should be able to defeat these Fleshhounds. Fecundity, where do we want to pop that? Probably up here on these Plague Drones. All right, so the Beast of Nurgle, let's waddle him over to that objective. We don't really need him here. And yeah, we still have a cult to summon too, and I believe these Exalted guys will go in time. All right, so the Beasts of Nurgle are just hustling. Toads are on the way over. Let's pull the Toads back. Shoot at the Exalted Bloodletters. Beasts of Nurgle might be able to actually wrestle that objective. That would be pretty sweet, huh? Exalted Plague Bearers, they can head down there. And I'm pretty sure we just win this eventually up top. Although the value lead is kind of close, which is a little bit precarious. All right, let's get the Toads to go clear those Furies off. Now the Corn Army's hustling over there. This is actually looking decent. We probably want to use a summon from one of our cultists here before he gets karate chopped. Let's do that. And hopefully they can win it. All right, so yeah, we have a big stream of corruption. Let's pop it like so. That's going to hit pretty much everything here. Nice. That was a really good one, actually. Oh, Value City. Value City, man. All right, Beast of Nurgle, keep doing your thing. You did get intercepted there. The Toads should be able to kill these Exalted Bloodletters. And let's get you shooting into that blob there. And we need to win this fight. This fight up top, pretty sure we win that eventually, but no guarantees. All right, Plague Bears and Nurglings. Yes, please. You go up here. It's got some reinforcements coming in. Let's slow them down. And hopefully the Toads can defeat those Exalted boys. Hopefully they can. How's this looking? Yeah, the Mortis Engine value here should be pretty fat. Although Big Chungus is a little bit out of position. Let's drop a fat heal over here. Like, we're pressing all three objectives, which is very, very dangerous. But I think it's worth. Okay, there we go. How are the Flyers doing? I think we win this one eventually, like I said. We need to get up along this side here. Because he's up on points. We don't have, obviously, infinite time, right? But he's got a lot of units, but Mortis Engine here is hitting home pretty hard. Okay, let's go. Big heal. Exalted Plague Bears waddling up onto the point. What else do we have to summon? Just Nurglings, just little turds. All right, let's get you guys down there. Go. I think we have enough to get this one though, most likely. Especially when those Plague Bearers get there with their dreaded movement speed buff. Okay, Soul Grinder, looks good to me. These actual Bloodletters, they are. Okay. That's not really an issue. And hopefully we can just wrestle this point here. Let's kill this cultist. Drop down, Fecundity up here. Keep this old blob fighting. Need to get the points, man. We got so much on the battlefield. But he's doing a really good job controlling the points. Toads of Nurgle, whatever, yeah, they're in their little brawl right there, which is not a problem. And the big man is slowly generating good value. We're up by 2,000, but it's weird. Like our rolls here have like reversed, which is like the weirdest shit ever. Okay, Nurglings, head over there. Yeah, he's probably gonna block a lot of the reinforcements, but I think we get this one right now. Yeah, we definitely do. All right, Nurglings, get on there. You guys get on there. We have some slows and whatnot. Let's go ahead and slow this blob. Send one turd burglar in there. The other one can move up there. And hopefully the big guys can just eventually get this point. Yep, he's camping on the side of the objective, which is good. Do we have anything to summon? We do, okay. Not too much, actually, because we're not, like, losing a lot, you know, which is kind of the tricky part of it all. But this point should be ours. Now that we got Nurglings up there, we're all up on it. We can send these flies back to get, like, a healthy version of them, and we're getting capture weight on this, too, now. Yeah, like, the Great Unclean one carries quite a bit of weight, right? We can get to the side and see what we can do. Bloodletters have intercepted Nurglings. Soul Grinders just being tied down. We got the top objective, which is excellent. Do we need to worry about pressure up here a little bit? Yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff coming. Plague Bears go finish off those Exalted ones. Soul Grinder's doing his job. And it looks like we might get the triple cap here. What can we summon in? More Plague Bears. Yeah, sure, why not? All hands on deck, man. Let's go, Nurglings. Okay, I turned my sound off for a second. Jeez. Definitely need to get this one. Any heals? Not really anything worth healing here. I guess the Exalted Plague Bearers might actually be an okay target. Let's get the Soul Grinder over here. He's got a fair amount of capture weight, so maybe we can just get him here. Park you guys on the front. Nurglings need to ninja over this way if they can. And you two can head to the middle. Top objective seems secure for now. Forsaken, we can send you back. You guys are just super beat up. Pretty sure the spawn won't be able to do anything there. All right, what do we got to summon in now? We got a lot of reinforcements. 1, 2, yep. Fast units by Nurgle standards. We got some fast units coming in, and we did get the point. So now we have a triple cap. The Plague God smiles this day. Do we want to use any heals? Let's get a little bit closer first with Big Chungus. We're just going to move in with all these SEMs and get them on the point. And he's doing this like block where he's like blockading my reinforcements, but I think in the end it's going to be good for us. Yeah, because we do have Rot Glorious Rot too. So maybe he moves away from this objective. It looks like that's going to be the case. He doesn't want the Mortis Engine. Yeah, he's going to go to the middle. All right, so let's move you guys here. Let's go, team. We have Turd Burglars and Vanguard. Let's get them up. Get you guys onto the point. And here we go. Flies need to come over here as well. Let's go ahead and drop a fat slow in this army. And like attack them and drag them through the mud a little bit. Great. And the Beast of Nurgle. Ooh, shit. We might actually need to send someone over there. Because he's going to have some capture action here. All right. Stream. Yep, we got dudes on the objective. He's catching up in value. It's fine, Toads can fight there. You guys move up here. Nurglings kind of drift up and under. Now the Great Chungus is just fighting like a champ right here. Anything we need to do on the high ground? Not really. Okay, so he's got some spawn coming, but I think 2 Plague Bears is going to be more than enough. All right, big man, let's go. Man, I need to heal that thing. I need to heal it. All right. Yep, just everyone, all hands on deck now. It's just sprinting for the middle and just trying to hold on to caps for as long as possible. Go, Nurglings. Go, my minions. Get onto the points. The Plague God must be appeased. Fecundity. Beast of Nurgle's getting kind of crumped right there. We're going to need some Nurglings there to kind of hold it down. And we can go ahead and send you guys. Maybe they're going to try and run past, so let's make that a little bit harder for them. Yeah, we went for the triple cap. It was a little bit precarious for sure. Yeah, Toads can pull here. Let's get the big boys in there onto the point. Nurgling should be able to help defeat the spawn. Get the Soul Grinder to go help there too since he's armored. And Big Chungus can waddle to the middle now. Okay, so yeah, we need to block these guys. We can't just let them like creep like that. Nurglings chase here, and one thing that he could do would be like a really sneaky like last ditch effort on the top. I think since we're so entrenched in the middle, I think we're fine. So let's get you guys up, and then you and you can go to the side point. Toads need to get be fighting somewhere a little bit more effective here. Yeah, I think we got this one in the bag, guys. I think we got that. Yeah, see, he's going for the top objective, which at this point, it doesn't matter. We have enough to win on 2 cap, so we don't need to, like, panic about it. But still, there should be a proportionate response, right? What are these? These are... Let's actually slow them down. Let's use Curse of the Slug, which is a really good way to often use that ability. Okay, spawn are pretty much toast. Send Nurglings over there. We can use the Holy Hand Grenades on the spawn of Khorne here. And Big Chungus is coming for that booty right there. We'll see what we can accomplish. Yeah, he's gonna get the top objective, which is fine. Let's just Helm's Deep the bottom 2. Okay, looks good. Come on, big man, let's go! Swing the bell. Give him the old bell. Alright, drones, let's go clean up. Nurglings there, and that's GG. Man. Well, yeah, Loopy, of course it's an infantry grind. It's Nurgle and Khorne. They're 2 infantry factions. Like, what else do you expect? Oh, man. Look at that. What a game. Jeez. Yeah, so this is my Nurgle build. I've used it very often, but I wouldn't use the Herald if it weren't Arnheim. I would actually go with Beast of Nurgle instead. But yeah, Great Unclean Winch is so good there. I do agree with the Exalted Bloodletters. I think they're the preferred option. They're super, super good. It's like very, very tough to finish them off. Yeah, he had the double cultist, I had double cultist, so, you know, always fair there. All right, I'm out of factions I'm good at. So that's going to be 1-1 here. God, I hope I don't have to play a best of 5. Nurgle got it, man. Nurgle is here, and he's not leaving. So for the next map, we have Broken Lake Gully. I still have Ogres. Granted, I'm not very good at them, but they're just so strong that it's like, part of me wants to pick them. Let's see here. He says, GG, well played. I was trying to never lose the 1 cap, but I didn't notice I was losing it. GG, well played. Alrighty, so now let's go to the tavern and see what the pick rules are. I don't even have my own rules memorized. All right, so for game 3, the winner of round 2 picks 3 factions they haven't played yet and bans 1. Okay. So I will pick... So who can I still play? Okay, I'm good at decent at Khorne, Ogres, and I'm not really good in Tzeentch probably. I'm just going to throw Tzeentch in there because Inimais has not played Kislev, I don't believe. Yeah, and banned Kislev. Alrighty, perfect. We're going to find out what he's doing in just a second. We're just doing our picks and bans for the last game. Not even picks and bans. Well, I banned Kislev. And then I think he gets to ban one of mine. He'll pick Nurgle then and ban Ogres. Okay. So Tzeentch versus Nurgle. Like, I feel like he's baiting me here, dude. Like, I'm just gonna... Man. Okay, guys, here's what happened. I picked Khorne, Ogres, and Tzeentch banning Kislev, because Kislev is just super strong. And he picks Nurgle and bans Ogres. So I'm good at Khorne, but I feel like Nurgle has the advantage. Oh, he switched it. So Nurgle banning Khorne. Oh, shit. Now Ogres are back on the table, man. Okay. We want to vote? You guys want to vote? Well, Yumais can only play 1 more game here. He had some family stuff come up, so I'm gonna go try hard here to try and get the win fair and square. He banned Khorne. So Tzeentch... I actually don't play Tzeentch, though. That's the problem. Even though Tzeentch is really good against Nurgle, I don't play them. So I'm not sure what approach to take. You know what? Let's try Tzeentch. Yeah, let's try Tzeentch. Or do we want to go with... Now what? Ogres. I kind of know Ogres better. This is a fun matchup, too. It's wild. Yeah, he switched his ban to Khorne, actually. So in the end, yeah. All right. So let's get this going. I'm just gonna do Ogres, yeah. Shrek is coming, yeah. And Ogres aren't, you know, what they used to be. They're not as scary. Still very good though. Oh man, you know who wants to play in this match is Greasy. Greasy wants it. Greasus Goldtooth is coming. Uh-huh. Greasy Goldtooth, the man, the myth, the legend. All right, so Lord-wise, probably just a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw is going to be the choice, because the healing is just too good to pass up on. I feel like, let's try something real fun here, guys. I'm going to take some cool magic. Belly Slapper lures melee attack and a blob. The Cleaver. Greedy Fist. Firebelly, Lore Fire isn't actually that good. Like, ever since... Burning Head is not what it used to be, guys. It's not what it used to be. Goldtooth is like an auto loss. Yeah, it's an auto loss. Maybe in the grand finals I'll do some Goldtooth action for you. I wonder how like Noblar Scrap Launchers would be. I feel like pretty terrible. Yeah, I feel like they would have some problems for sure. We're gonna get real crazy and try some weird ass shit here. Okay, so we got you guys. And then, what else do you want to mix in? You probably have to... No. Nurgle can beat ogres now, guys. Don't you... Nurgle definitely can beat ogres. It's a whole different beast. It's not what it used to be. Trust me on that. Like, I feel totally happy facing ogre players with Nurgle now. The only Nurgle matchups I really don't like are probably Tzeentch and Kislev. Like, Tzeentch and Kislev are terrible, I feel. But ogres are doable. Nurgle can win for sure. Especially with a really good pilot, right? Like on the other side of things. Yeah, that's probably better. Let's go with Bone Crusher. All right, so we got 900 Gs left. Little Noblar squad. Perfect. Get an Ogre Bull, I guess. Yeah, it looks fine to me. Now, shutting down Furies is obviously very important, so we need to get some doggos. We're going to get one of these just because they're super cool. And then a bunch of Ogre Bulls with the dual weapons. Yeah, dual weapons seem like the way to go. Iron Guts are also good here. Gorgers are actually still pretty good against your boy Nurgle. I like sniping back objectives and things like that. They can actually do some surprising work in that regard. Two of you. Yeah, I don't know if this build's optimal, but it has some really cool shit in it. So I think you guys should enjoy it. Man-eaters don't feel great here either. They do not feel great. All right, I'm ready, dude. Let's have some fun. Do I have the items on those guys? Oh shit, I can't afford it. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Good luck, have fun. Beastmen are going to be really fun when they come back, dude. They're going to be really, really fun. Yeah, I brought a Mornfang cab, which, I don't know, I brought one. Just as like a sweeper unit. I was kind of like, okay, this guy can like creep around in the shadows. And I brought some shooting, some lead belchers. I brought double Stonehorn Hunter. I feel like they're pretty good against Nurgle especially. They have their like spears and they can fight the big Nurgle monsters pretty well. We just gotta, the Plague Bearers are gonna be a problem, right? They're tough to deal with. So if you're a Nurgle player in this matchup, what you do is you go double Cultist and you just spam mass Plague Bearers from there. It's really tough for Ogres to deal with all that because Plague Bearers defeat all the Ogre Bull variants really, really well in combat. Yeah, so it's tricky. Try hard mode, I don't know, I'm not very, my best factions are Khorne, Nurgle. I used to think I was good at Kislev, but when Chariots became super OP, I stopped playing them, so I kind of lost touch with them a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. Ogres are fun, yeah. Like I don't feel bad playing them anymore. Tzeentch also, I think, has brought like the funds have changed things. The only faction that's still like a pretty much a dumpster fire is Grand Cathay. All right, so let's get our shooting gallery going. We got the Slaughtermaster, we got the double Stonehorn, which is the funniest thing about the Stonehorns is they're invisible. It's just like, it's just ridiculous how that works. Okay, so you guys can just go like chill up here. All right, good luck, man. I only got 7 units, so we're chilling out. I currently have Mornfang Brown on my paintbrush. That's like one of the most commonly used paints I have, Melody. Like all my Empire State Troopers, like all their shoes and their hats are usually Mornfang Brown. Yeah. You know, that's, man, one of the things I've learned about miniature painting recently is that, like, one of the quickest and, like, cheapest ways to make something look good is to just, like, paint it in its base color, wash it, and then paint, like, highlight it with the same base color. It, like, looks totally good. That's been a really big one I've been doing. Okay, I would imagine he's ready, so. Yamai sets up very quickly. I like how everything's hiding, yeah, I love it. All right, let's get you guys up. We'll go here. What does he got? Spawn of Nurgle. Oof. Big scary spawn. We should be able to play these 2 objectives. I think that's what our plan's gonna be. Dude, the fact that these things have stock is so absurd. Did I bring Crippling Throw? Oh, I did on one of them. Okay, well, that was a mistake. He's going to come for my back objective probably, so we'll have to play it by ear. He's going to hide everything, so we just want to get these guys like sitting here shooting up to that high ground position. And hopefully we can hold this. What does he got? Cultists and some other nastiness. Let's get Gorgers up there. Gorgers are really good for just like holding a single point, right? We can use the hunters here to like poke a little bit and try and cause some problems, although, yeah. That's going to be a hard one. Let's loop them back around. We need to hold our point back here. All right, so you guys coming up. And you guys come up this way. Let's go, boys. Let's keep moving and grooving. And there's going to be a Plague Bearer summon here, so let's just run away for now. The objectives, we have some time before they open up, so we don't even actually technically have to fight them yet. We're going to get the Stonehorn Hunters heading this way, and you guys shoot here in a second. You guys shoot here. Shoot the Beast of Nurgle. And we can just, like, run away from that summon. He's going to get the objective initially, but at least we'll get the middle most likely. He's got so much shit. Yeah, that's the advantage of that that kind of wide style of play. Extra wide. Mornfang Cav. Yeah, let's just run back here and wait out that summon. You can chill in the middle. And, oh yeah, that's shit. I forgot about these guys. Oh, that's not good. I was really sloppy. I should have had my Saber Tusk or something nearby. I was like, oh, don't worry. My other guy's got it. It'll be fine. Alright, so let's run the Lead Belchers away. And the Plague Bearer summon is going to be dissipating here soon. So let's wait that out. And, okay, it looks like these Stonehorns are actually doing good enough to kind of justify here. Alright, so let's get the 2 Stonehorns to attack into the spawn blob, which is going to be fun. Saber Tusk cleared out. And now we've kind of actually baited the Nurgle army to where we want it, right? Which is great. These guys disappear in 17 seconds, so we'll just chill out until then. And here comes more cultists. Alright, let's get some Iron Guts coming. You guys can start shooting at the spawn here. We got a big, nasty blob. And none of the objectives are open quite yet. Sounds good. Iron Guts, head over here. Have we run away from this? We have. Great. Alright, so that's perfect. Now we just go get our objective up there, right? And then we're chilling. We're living our best life. And I think we eventually beat the spawn here with the 2 big boys. The problem is going to be playing the objectives, right? That's going to be the hardest part. Do you have enough for a Gorger? Not quite. Alright, let's get a Gorger, send him up into the Shadow Realm. You guys move in. You guys pull back. You guys pull back. The Saber Tusks are doing their thing. The 2 big boys are slowly grinding down the spawn, but it's going to take a while. We need to get back on the objective to make sure we have that. Alright, great. And yeah, we're going to get that one, so we got to just focus on value here. Iron Guts pull back. The other Iron Guts, unfortunately, are very, very trapped up. I think we have bulls that we can send on parade, in the words of Rage Against the Machine, and pull them here. Alright, so the middle point, we could just fight and like keep the Nurgle army here, I suppose. Yeah, we're not going to get the capture, so let's just keep grinding here. Alright, so it looks like these spawn are going up to Ninja, our high ground objective, which we should be able to get here pretty decisively. Yeah, there we go, that's fine. So big shooting, one of them is down for the count. Let's keep shooting at the spawn if we can. He's going to be out of summons. Do we need any heals? Do you have any like mass amounts of infantry? He's doing pretty good on value, which is not a good thing for us. That's actually very bad. Alright, so let's get some Saber Tusks. Go see if we can jack his back objective here. Shooting is back online, so let's start blasting where we can. We have this objective. Outstanding. Clear off the Noblars. You know, I actually did not bring that much stuff. Like, looking at my army, it feels like very bare bones here. Alright, so just keep working on the spawn here. We can use the Troll Guts to heal up the man, the myth, the legend. And yeah, those Nurglings are going to pay the price, and we should be able to get that back objective, which is awesome. So, bulls, let's do that. It's going to be hard to hold on to this one, though, for sure. He's got a lot of stuff on here. Yeah, these are like Plague Bears and shit, too. Spawn all over the place. Hopefully the middle we can start to wrestle control somehow. Got to kill these damn spawn. Alright, so some Furies have landed here. We have Mornfang Cav that are potentially able to kind of respond here. And how are we looking? Alright, Nurglings are getting blasted off. We got Gorgers there. Gorgers should do well. And some rampaging shit. I just feel like everything's going bad. My build isn't working. Maybe I should have just gone wide. Maybe that's the way to do it, huh? Well, you see, I don't play Ogre, so I have to take notes. Alright, guys. Keep shooting. The Chungus Kingdoms are coming. The Gorgers have almost cleared out those Nurglings. Not quite. Those little turd burglars are very, very tough. And now it's time for the Mornfang Cab of the Gods. Let's use him as a clearing tool. Maybe eventually this blob will outgrind here. We'll have to see. We have the Power Fist, but there's literally nothing here. I think we could actually Power Fist up on the high ground here. Alright, so yeah. We're going to clear these guys out. We got shooting back online. Like, if we could kill the Nurgle character blob, that would be really nasty. Alright, so you guys fight those Chaos Furies. Gorgers back here, still fighting. Let's run the Gorgers into the trees and see if we can, like, replenish them a little bit. And now we just swarm middle with a bunch of Haggard Bulls on parade. Bulls on parade! Gorgers up there seem to be trading pretty good. Go after the Cultists. Couple spawn left. We have healing. We're triple capped, though. And, you know, right now he's up on value, too. So pretty much things are just not going well. He, too, is a Nurgle enjoyer, it would seem. Nurgle's having a great tournament today, guys. He's doing really, really well. I'm very happy for him. Alright, so let's send you guys back. Send you guys back. Noblars, we can send you back, too. And we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, we got a couple bull boys. And these bulls, I guess, can run down onto the objective. We're gonna have to try and grab something, man. Desperation calls. You guys can drift around there. These Beasts of Nurgle are really, really good at tar pitting your characters. Alright, Stonehorn Hunters, try and kill that cultist maybe. See what happens. Yeah, I don't even know if I can get that objective back, frankly. I think we just have to try and get the middle one. Okay, Little Furies have tried their best, and Spawn versus those guys in the bushes as well. Noblars, yeah, I don't really have any secret agent units. I kind of went with a very elite build, which may end up biting me in the butt here. We'll see. Okay, Slaughtermaster, how you doing? We have Dismember, that's pretty much it. We got slowed as well. Let's slow down this Forsaken. See if we can get to that middle point before they do. Gorgers, still causing some grief. Hopefully we can get some shooting back. Let's send you guys back and try and replenish that. Run up along the side. Snipe the Lord if we can. Jeez, man, I don't know how we're going to catch up in value. He doesn't have a caster, though. That's like one advantage we have, right? Is he doesn't have any sort of a character that can heal and stuff. Alright, so get our cap here. Bulls on the objective, bulls on the objective. We almost sniped the character. That's good. Alright, so now you can get up on the point. You guys are trying to fight here. Let's save up for like a big push. Get a bunch of shooting here in the middle. So I think he's kind of like... Yeah, that guy's getting chased off. We're for sure going to get this objective back. And the Mornfang Cav are actually in a very favorable trade, mind you. Okay, let's get you up on the point, you up on the point. Let's get the boomstick going. Give him the old boomstick, the old razzle-dazzle. Extra ingredients. Alright, so we got the enemy lord. Let's get a hunter up here. Now, you guys can just shoot at whatever the hell you can see. So, like this, for example. And you come out too. Take down that Beast of Nurgle. It's really hard to take down those kind of SEMs with that shooting, but we need to get all of you guys on the objective, like stat. Alright, so it's getting popped. It's getting popped. He did get the big boys on the point, though. I still think he has the capture weight advantage, which is really unfortunate. Anyway, we can get to the top objective? I don't think so. Okay, Ogre Bulls. Let's get you over there, man. Yeah, they can't quite kill that Beast of Nurgle, man. And he's got the capture weight back. He does. I think just going wider against Nurgle is probably better. The elite units he's able to tar pit too easily. That's certainly a lesson I've learned here. Okay, rear charging. Let's go intercept those Forsaken. We might be able to bump and grind here. Let's actually do an overcasted one. What does that do? More damage? Yeah, sure, why not? That should do some good work. Alright, so Stonehorn Man is chilling. You got Gorgers. Let's run him up and through the trees and around the back to go see if we can get that. Great, and those guys have been shut down. This Beast of Nurgle is literally sitting AFK and I just can't kill it. It's too strong, Anakin. I'm too weak. Go, get him. GG, well played, yeah. There's a couple little, like, I started to catch up in value, but he's held the points for too long. The shooting is now good. We would be in an okay position probably because this Gorger could steal this point, but he did a really good job tar pitting my advances on the objectives. I think the double Stonehorn's like 1,400 value on one. 1,600, so the value is pretty good, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. You probably need to contest the objectives better, so the elite style doesn't work too well. GG. So, he said he might have to leave the event. In that case, what we'll do is we'll probably invite, because I don't want to advance on. I'd rather just cast, especially advancing off a loss. So what we'll do is we'll get someone who's the next highest ranked player who was eliminated, and they can get like a revival or something like that. Let me see if he has to go. GG, well played. Yeah, very well played. That was a good game. It was a really good game. I don't know about the Stonehorn Hunters though. I feel like a wider build. The double lead belcher in the beginning too. I think you summon in shooting as a support. You can go like wider first. I think that's the play. He played really well though. So you guys have seen 2 back-to-back Nurgle victories. You can't leave. I don't want to advance though, because I'd rather cast the grand finals, and let me see who was in the event that might still be around. If Umais has to go. Hold on. Okay, one sec, guys. 2 and 1. Okay, reporting here. Hey, I'm pretty happy though. We got to the grand finals today. We had a contested series. 2-1 is nice. So, who is going to get the revival? Firstly, let's host the lobby and get the next series beginning. Yeah, I should have just played a faction I know how to play. Okay, top 4, Turin. Post game of spectator. Now, this next match is going to be sweet. We have 2 players who are undefeated on the leaderboard. They have yet to lose a game. And these 2 gentlemen are going to be going fisticuffs here for your viewing pleasure. So let's get this up. Copy and paste. And where are you at? Oh, Umai says he can actually make it back. Okay, sounds good. So they will have their best of 3. Then you are up. Perfect. All right, so Umais can actually make it back. Hell yeah. Aces. All right, he earned it. You know, I want him to get the spot. No, he's back. He's back. He will be able to make it. Dude, I'm stoked now. Yes, dude, yes. Sign me up. Yeah, I feel like the double Stonehorn doesn't do it against Nurgle. I agree, I don't think so. Like, because Nurgle just tar pits them. Even though they get good value, he didn't even have a Lord. So that was... What that means is when Nurgle doesn't bring a Lord, it means the value you see on the board is more or less a true state of the game type situation. So, but he had a very wide army and really played the objectives well. He can make it back. Yeah, he said after this best of 3, he should be able to make it. So, taking a look at the leaderboard right now, guys, we can see 2-1 victory here for Umais, and it is going to be Umais facing off against either Houseplant or Batman Freak. Both players are undefeated on the leaderboard on the front page, which is great. You needed Kragnos? I did. Yeah, I did. Evenstar played today as well. Evenstar, I believe he lost in the earlier rounds. Yeah, so we have Houseplant against Neil Batman Freak. Both players have a tournament win under their belt. And yeah, it's going to be great, dude. It's going to be great. I'm super excited for this match. This is like a big heavyweight match. Big heavyweight match. And how it shall be done once we get to the grand finals of this season, it's going to be a seeding process. So we'll have our 16-man grand final tournament. If you are ranked number 1 on the leaderboard, you're going to be facing off against the ranked 16 player. See what I'm saying? So your reward for being really high ranked on the leaderboard is that you get an easier match in your first round of the grand final. So there will be some seeding done in that way. So right now, Voidlaws would be playing up against, looking at the leaderboard, rank 16 is going to be outer region, right? That is the advantage of being higher up in the leaderboard, because the grand finals is going to be 16-man tournament and the prize pool is going to be quite big. I'm looking to have it be between $5,000 and $2,000 depending on sponsors. And I'll probably wait for the old factions to get added back in just to make it really spicy and really high stakes. So this season, when we get the old factions added back in, maybe like a couple weeks after they're back, we can have a few tournaments and then go from there. I got to ask, did you lose that match on purpose? I feel like that was pretty uncharacteristic. No, I didn't. I don't play ogres though, so I did pick something I'm not very familiar with. Like Khorne and Tzeentch were on the table, but I don't know. Khorne could have been okay. Tzeentch would have probably been the safer pick, because Tzeentch just really gives Ogre Nurgle the business typically. Not always, but no. Umais is like a really good player. I mean, of course, the series was winnable. I really needed to win that Kislev versus Ogres game in game 1. That was very, very big there. All right. So, setting up the scorecards here. I believe they're both in the lobby. Let's see. Now, we got Batman in there right now. So, Batman's going to be here. Batman versus Houseplant. The undefeated players, man. Take notes. If you guys are looking to get into Total War multiplayer, these guys are 2 top players right now, and both have done very well and have won tournaments, which is outstanding. And let me see if Houseplant is able to get in. All right. Perfect. And we're all good. Hey, Dov. Oh, no, Dov just missed the event. Hey, it's okay, man. Dov is casting a Siege Battle tournament tomorrow, which is going to be fun. So Battle for Itza is our first map here. Players can go ahead and do their picks and bans, and we'll go from there. Thanks again for joining. Late night stream, late night good times. Yeah, man. Is anyone going to go play the new races if the stakes are so high? Yeah, I think so. Because you have to remember, people are going to be more familiar with these factions. I think Nurgle's meta is very well defined now. I think like going wide and just playing the objective swarming is really, really good. I'm trying to think what factions will... I think Vampire Counts will honestly be the strongest faction. I think Vampire Counts are going to be so crazy. Like imagine like a Graveguard's zombie spam build that's like super wide with like really powerful vampire characters like flying around dropping summons and shit. Like I can already see that being incredibly difficult to stop. Incredibly difficult. That's also another thing. Really high-level players will typically just sit on Demons of Chaos while they're waiting to do their picks and bans, so they don't give any inclination as to what they might want to play. The little tactics here that we see in Total War Warhammer Competitive, the sneaky tactics. Great, so Yamais can actually make it to the Grand Finals, which is outstanding. So he will play the winner here. Did it not get reported? Let's see. I think the old races, for the most part, will defeat the newer races. But I think there's a few exceptions. I think a couple of the newer factions will have niche matchups. For example, I think Nurgle will be incredibly good against Vampire Counts. I think Nurgle could be good against Beastmen. Like, Nurgle will be good against anyone that Vampire Counts were good against, in my opinion. If Vampire Count is the most powerful, what will be their best counter? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Like, I feel like Bretonnia might be pretty good against them. Like, Feint Enchantress, Double Paladin, Mortis Engine Blob, tons of good cav to, like, cycle charge. It's going to be really exciting. Like, I'm super, super hyped for the meta going forward. We need Kislev's Revenge. Yeah, Kislev is good. I actually think Kislev is a good pick against Ogres. I should have brought a Jabba Little Grom. His shooting really punished me that game. Learned a lot. Learned a lot for sure. Summons, yes, correct. Summons cannot capture, my friend, but the thing that they can do, James, is summons can be used as a roadblock. So just imagine you're playing against Vampire Counts and you're trying to get units onto an objective. They can drop zombie summons in front of said units as you advance and just constantly do that. What would be your Empire build versus Nurgle? Okay. Volkmar the Grim, probably. I think a Huntsman with Knights of the Blazing Sun, Sigmar Sons, and Flagellants. Like, that would probably be my playstyle, maybe with the Silver Bullets mixed in there. I feel like that sounds pretty good, because, like, Knights of the Blazing Sun can pretty much crump any overextending infantry. Then you got Volkmar to fight on the blob and just do like banishments and Soulfires. Huntsman can kill any big Nurgle monsters. It's a little bit scary though, because Nurgle does have that good air force, like the Rotflies, and they can fly on. Tomb Kings I think will be good too. Tomb Kings will be decent. Yeah, they'll be decent. I don't think they'll be good as good as vampires because they don't have the same healing capabilities, but there's a lot to bring. There's a lot. Bretonnia could be good in Domination if they could make more wide maps. I think Bretonnia will be good on like Itza, for example. Like, Arnheim, Bretonnia will be fine on as well. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited to see the new factions. Did you not bring Sleds out of principle? No, I feel like Sleds aren't that amazing against Ogres, although they probably are, all jokes aside. Not jokes, but all, conspiracies aside. Like, I feel like I don't like them against Ogres, because, like, Iron Guts and Gorgers, like, their bonus for infantry is completely moot. It's more or less irrelevant. I feel like Empire would be favored versus Nurgle. Like, Nurgle struggles against, like, true shooting factions. Unless you're Cathay. Nobody struggles against Cathay because Cathay sucks. But yeah, that's just the sorrowful reality of being a Cathay player. What are the maps? It's going to be Itza, Arnheim, and Broken Lake Gully. It's going to be the same as the other side, and then the Grand Finals will have a whole new set of maps, including Arnheim and Itza, but we'll also have like Galleon's Cove and Crossing of Sea of Claws and a couple other ones as well. How about I feel like High Elves will be better than Dark Elves. I feel like Dark Elves might have some nice gimmicks, though. Because Dark Elves, like, you can go double Canid Assassin with Marathi and have, like, a really nasty AoE debuff blob. You can get Hydras for, like, breath attacks on objectives. Like, I feel like Dark Elves will be good against Nurgle, actually. Scourge Runners are going to be super good, too, I think. Houseplant has a question on Discord. Thank you. Okay. Yes. It's a Arn. And then Gully. All right, so we had a question about the maps pertaining to the picks and bans, which is always a sign of a good competitive player here. All right. Let us see what these mighty champions will choose. I tried to win the tournament today to save myself from having to send the prize money, but alas, we have failed. Yeah, I feel like the sleds are bad versus ogres. I should have just gone wider probably, but the snow leopards are insanely good. Both Grail Knights and Grail Guardians should be pretty damn good. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Cathay really can't push you back. That's the problem. Cathay can outvalue you by sitting in their little spawn zone with cannons and shooting, but they don't have any stopping power outside of Terracottas. And then the Dragon Breath spell. Dwarves will be niche. But dwarves will be map dependent, I feel. Dwarves will... Dwarves are going to be like Cathay, but actually good. Like, you have a cannon, you push up to the middle objective. You put like a Nurgling's Ironbreakers on one of your side objectives, and then you just like fight for the middle. That's how dwarves are going to play. Because dwarves actually kill shit. Like, Longbeards are not slouches. They're not like potatoes like Jade Warriors, which literally can take like 15 minutes to kill a Nurgling. Like, Longbeards will kill them quicker. I'm so glad that... I'm a huge dwarf fan, so I'm happy dwarves are, I think, going to be quite good in this. They're not going to be like amazing, but I think they're going to be niche. Maps that are more brawler-centric, dwarves can definitely do some work, I guess. Like Thoric with Slayers and a fair amount of DPS. Yeah, dwarves are going to be an interesting one. It's hard to predict. They've always been like a faction of extremes. They're either really good or really bad in certain matchups, but Domination balances a lot of things out, right? We're not going to be seeing a lot of the same BS that you see in land battles, so it really does change the paradigm of things. I still think vampire counts are going to be the best. Yeah. I think they're going to be the best. Hands down. Yeah, Ironbreakers are really metal. Yeah. Like, if I were dwarves, I'd probably go like cannon or organ gun. Vanguard, Nurgling's Ironbreakers on the side objective, and then push up with like Longbeards and Thoric on the middle with Slayers guarding my cannon type thing. And then just send like waves and waves of tanky infantry to fight, followed with a little bit of missile support depending on what your opponent's doing. Melody, I think Wood Elves are going to be amazing. Dwarves have Slayers? They do, yeah. The only problem with Slayers is the light armor, so like any other infantry unit that contests an objective with a Slayer is going to trade pretty favorably in terms of value, right? So if a Slayer is guarding a side point, like, though they're unbreakable, I feel like if they send a Corn Warrior with shields, if they send a Plague Bearer, they send like Nurglings, Noblars, whatever, like the Slayers might win in some of those trades, but they're going to take a lot of inefficient damage. I feel like it might be better to actually have like a Longbeard holding a side objective or an Ironbreaker, because they almost feel unbreakable at times. Yeah, but Slayers, it depends on the matchup. Yeah, Slayers, I guess if you're against a faction that can only get to that objective with mobility, they're going to be crazy good. They're going to be crazy good. Yeah, it looks like a typical Kislev build. Kislev, their bear sleds are limited to 2 right now, so they can only have 2 in total in the whole army. Might as well give the unreleased tier list. I actually am thinking about doing a video on that, like how I think each faction's going to be. I thought about doing a separate video, like where each video focuses on one faction in domination mode, like how they're going to perform. Hammers could be a good alternative to Slayers in those situations. Hammers have always been a little bit janky. They had some niche applications against like vampire counts historically. You would see them sometimes to kill Graveguard, but yeah, Wood Elves will always be pretty good, I think, Melody. I'll definitely do some video series. I think that's actually a really good idea. Like, what I could do is I could grab a player who mains each faction, one of those factions, and we could talk about like our conspiracy theory predictions of how they'll be. All right, guys, here we are in game 1 of the second semifinal match. It's going to be Neil Batman Freak against the dreaded Houseplan. Both players are actually undefeated on our current leaderboard. Both have won several tournaments, I believe. No, Houseplan has won 3 tournaments, and Batman has won 1. How can Wood Elves hold ground? You know, Wood Elves have deceivingly decent tankiness. Like, Dryads will be okay, Eternal Guard have good melee defense, and also you have Treekin, which probably will have some decent capture weight. You have, you also have the big tree monsters. Like, they'll probably be better at it than Cathay is, that's for sure. I don't know. But yeah, for Khorne, it's basically just a ton of infantry, which is very meta, right? Like, just go infantry spam. But, I mean, Kislev has great answers for that, right? They have the heavy war sled, so the heavy war sleds can really wreck these shielded Khorne warriors pretty hard. And aside from that, it's going to be Khorne Dogs backed up by a Herald of Khorne and double Cultists of Khorne. I really think Cultists need a huge nerf. They are Yeah, they need some milk. They're some sour milk, I suppose. They're a little bit too strong. Now, for Batman Freak, it is going to be double Snow Leopard, backed up by double Heavy War Sled and Kostalton. Very disgusting Goon Squad. Very, very powerful. I like what Houseplant is doing by running his characters over to the side of the map. I think that's a really, really good play. Trying to lure his opponent over. Batman, though, not going to be taking the bait. It's going to be very cautious. On top of that, we do have a Frost Maiden of Ice, a couple Armored Kossars, and Little Grom in the back is raining some hot, steaming lead and dropping the payloads here on the face of the Chaos Warriors. Now, looks like we could have a fight. You know what, honestly, you have some time before the objectives open up. I would not be against taking a blob fight here. And it looks like maybe some corn dogs from Houseplant are going to be sent in. Nope, pulling them back before the Snow Leopard does get in there. And now we got a blob fight, which I feel like is Kislev's specialty, especially with Heart of Winter probably being brought on the Frostbane here. Yeah, looks like it's going to be Heart of Winter. And the Bear Sleds are just going to go balls deep here. This is just going to be brutal. One of the most power creep units in the game, doing excellent work here against the Chaos Warriors, which is, pretty much what they're designed to kill, is armored infantry that do not have alphas. Perhaps a blunder, though, by Batman. Maybe overextending a little bit, overemphasizing the efficiency of this blob against a Cornate blob. Corn does use a Bloodletter summon, and now the Barriers are going to be coming back in. So we will be seeing a Heart of Winter here very, very soon, I would imagine. Granted, the Heart of Winter isn't going to be amazing, but this could be a big win for Khorne. Depends on how the fight goes. One unit of the Fleshhounds is on death's bed here and is unstable and it's going to be crumbling down. And have we seen Kostalton's prayers yet? You can see he's trying to pull back, and it looks like some of the Kislevite forces might be able to get away. There are more Cornhounds coming in, but very, very scary to say the least. Now in the middle, we do have the Armored Kossars battling against the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Chaos Warriors of Khorne should win this fight, even though they are the Great Weapon variant. I think the Chaos Warriors just have such a superior stat line that they'll probably just trade more efficiently, right? And you can see the Armored Kossars are already kind of getting bullied a little bit, and they are here as well. A little bit more of an even exchange, but still, I think the Chaos Warriors of Khorne just barely edged that fight. Now, as far as value goes, Houseplant doing a pretty good job keeping it even. Kostalton has been pushed back. The champion of the Blood God continues to move forward, as now more Armored Kossars with Great Weapons are sent into fight, and the second summon of Khorne Cultists is going to be dropped here by the Houseplant. Now this is good. It's going to get a pretty quick kill on these Armored Kossars. We do have a huge legion of Kossovite Dervishes being brought in to fight. Quite curious about that pick. Don't really know what they're going to bring to the table, other than cheap bodies, I guess. Heart of Winter here could be nice. It will at the very least hit some of these Bloodletters, which are summons, and the rest of the units, the Chaos Warriors, probably going to be escaping. This is a big opportunity for Kislev, though. If they can actually turn around this fight, maybe take out the Corn Dogs and or goon the Cultist. Kostalton, I don't know if he brought all his buffs that he gets stronger when he's low, but perhaps could be on the table here. And again, the Bear Sleds just do crazy, crazy sustained damage. The middle objectives being fought over pretty heavily. Overall, a bit of an even scrap. There are 3 Kislevite units against 2 Khorne ones. And now we get Zargard with Grey Opens being brought out. So the Heart of Winter doing some big work right here. And Rasputin's just going deep, man. He's not taking any shit. Going to be fighting off these demons of Khorne, while the Snow Leopard and the Light War Sleds, which is bathed in the Salax Lullaby, which is going to be giving them fat heals. And Khorne Infantry here probably aren't going to be terribly useful. Chariots get away. Both Chariots are at about half health, give or take. Snow Leopard's in decent shape, and I think both sides have taken some heavy blows. So considering the Salax Lullaby that we've seen, all things considered, I think that it's a pretty even game in terms of value. The Zargard with Great Opens here should trade pretty efficiently. If they're able to get into these Khorne Warriors with Halberds, that's going to be a good fight for them. So they're going in for the Motherland. And here comes the fight of fights as they pile in to do war against them, and we'll see what happens. Although it looks like their attack order might have been given on the wrong unit. We'll have to see. So is Kislev going to be able to get some good value trading back here? In the meantime, we have the Herald of Khorne and the 2 Cultists trading very, very favorably against the Heavy War Sleds. Rasputin's moving in, backed up here by the Snow Leopard, and maybe is going to be able to get Frostbite. Of course, the Snow Leopard does have the Frostbite ability, so he does kind of snare down some of these slower Khornate unit and allows the Chariots and whatnot to do their work. But we're seeing the Mass Infantry perform very well, and Khorne is just, their infantry are so cost effective. Like, the shielded Khorne Warriors just absolutely smashing these Great Weapon units, right? Which, in theory, you wouldn't think would happen, but their stats are just so good. And Khorne should work this way. Before anybody says, like, OP, not the case. Khorne Warriors, like, they severely lack in many ways, and their infantry should be favorable, right? Like, Kislev has a ton of ranged tools, they have artillery, crazy SEMs. So, Khorne's infantry should slightly outvalue Kislev's point for point, in my opinion. Heavy War Sled's going to be screaming back across, but they got to be careful, man. This is like a halberd blob. And it's looking like Houseplant, man. He's just tyrannical. He's currently up by 2,000 value. He's been able to really push back the Zargard. The Zargard just get absolutely shreked right there, man. They've been sent back to the swamp. And right now, Kislev's Chariot Blob. Maybe people are going to have to start switching and using like Streltsy and different things, because I feel like Kislev players have really relied on the old chariots for so long that maybe they're kind of neglecting other aspects of the roster that could be very, very good, right? Kostalton on the run. Rasputin is at about 500 HP, still healing because he is a patriarch, and Salak's Lullaby going to be providing some healing as well. Little Grom's going to be retreating. Little Grom has gotten some, decent amount of value. Let's go and see what it's been. So yeah, about 571. Not very good. But there haven't been too many good targets, right? We get more Bloodletters coming, more Bloodletters. Khorne is just pouring endless troops across the battlefield. That was the saddest charge. I agree, Karashel. It was a little bit unceremonious, wasn't it? And the heavy war sled's being dragged down. Not something you say terribly often. The Snow Leopard moving in. A big cannonball shot from Little Grom. Trying to nail those cultists. But guys, I think this is kind of the point of no return for Kislev. I do really like that we're seeing Streltsy in here now. Streltsy are quite exceptional against Khorne in general. And now we got some Winged Lancers coming out. So Winged Lancers not going to be terribly good here. They lack armor piercing. And most of Khorne's infantry corps, which is warrior based, is going to be heavy, armor. So there you have it. GG, well played. Houseplant showing why he is currently contending with Void Laws for the #1 spot on the leaderboard. But you never want to count out the Batman. The Batman has been in this situation before. In the previous tournament in which we had Batman, he was actually behind, I believe, and he had a reverse sweep and won the series. So Houseplant goes up 1-0 in the best of 3 series. GG, well played. I need some water. I am thirsty. And we'll see what they do for the next game. My friends, I will be back, and I'm going to get some water, and we'll talk about the series and all that good stuff in just a second. Hey, no, man. I just got really parched. I return, my friends. The glorious duel of fates is upon us. Let us see who will claim victory this day. In 1.1, our lights are heavy better. People have been using heavies, actually. I think heavies are the more preferential choice. Sleds are limited to 2 right now. Yeah, but Kislev has plenty of other ways of killing armor. They have great weapon infantry. They have Streltsy. They have elemental bears. Their characters are all good against armor. They're currently limited to 2 right now. Yeah. Because they're just super broken. If you guys want to realize how broken the sleds of Kislev are, go look at a Gorby's chariot and then compare it to a Kislev Light War sled. And you're going to be like, what the hell? How did that get through Q&A? Yeah. Oh, you guys talking about Warhammer Fantasy? Yeah. I'm so excited, man, for the old world to come back. I've been painting up my Empire army. I should get some of the minis and show you guys. It's maybe on the next stream. It's too much of a disaster in here right now. So what are the picks going to be for the next game? Batman's going to go Nurgle and Ogres. I'm so happy to see Nurgle getting picked. Cathay, on the other hand, still getting no love. Cathay is pretty much still in the trash can. Probably will be for a while. Yeah, probably will be for a while. They just can't really compete. They're just too weak. So Gorby's chariots cost the same as the heavy war sleds of Kislev, but they have 70 less melee weapon strength. They have no shooting. They're slower. They have less mass. It's just it's the most ridiculous power creep comparison I've ever seen. Yeah, it's nuts. 2 bears greater than 1 Gorbeast. Yeah, Gorby's chariots are pretty sad. They're not terrible, but they're just they're fair. They're a fair unit, you know. Sam asking, do I have any Lord of the Rings minis? I don't, but I've actually been wanting to get into that. I've been thinking about that game, but I have so many minis right now. I don't want to create an even bigger pile of gray than I already have. Melody, sounds good. Sounds good. Right now, Melody, I want to paint my Empire army myself. And I've been making pretty good progress. But there's going to come a time, Melody, when I am looking to do... I'm going to be starting another YouTube channel when the Old World comes out, which is going to be explicitly focused on tabletop battle reports for the Old World. Maybe some 40k too, but mostly Old World. And I'm going to need to get a bunch of armies painted then. So Melody, for sure, I will hit you up then. For sure. I would love to paint Kislev or Cathay army. Yeah, Cathay, for example, would be one. My wife is going to paint our Kislev army that we get. And then Cathay, probably neither of us would be terribly interested in painting. But if you would be, we would hit you up super hard. So yeah, we're going to start a tabletop channel. which is obviously, I have no idea when Old World's coming. I would imagine in a couple of years, maybe 1 to 2 years. But I'm really excited for that. I'm really, really excited. So it's going to be Tzeentch versus Nurgle. I'm curious to see what Houseplant's build is. I mean, I think this is heavily favored for Tzeentch, but ever since the starting funds were increased, Nurgle is in a much better spot. A much, much better spot. The big man is coming for blood. I paint anything but Chaos. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I've painted a lot of Chaos in 40k, so I kind of need to break from it. But what's pretty rad is Italian Spartacus. I've been talking to him about it. He might be interested in doing the tabletop channel with me. And he has he played Warhammer Fantasy when he was a kid, and he still has a bunch of unopened starter army boxes. He has one for Dark Elves. He has Orcs and Goblins. He has a High Elf army. And then he has a Bretonnian starter box too. So Italian Spartacus basically has the foundation of 4 or 5 tabletop armies for Warhammer Old World. So we're totally set. And I'll have Empire and Kislev. When I would imagine Kislev will probably be one of the armies they launch with. But it's gonna be Nurgle versus Tzeentch here, guys. Let's see what happens. Why is Cathay bad? They can't really push. They have no aggression. They're okay in land battles. Don't worry, you guys will know. Hey, Nomi, you got a 15-minute work break? Hey, you're just in time for a glorious showdown between Nurgle and Tzeentch. Yes. Melody says I'm much better at painting pretty and clean rather than dirty textures. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so Sparty has a whole stash of old Warhammer Fantasy minis, so we're super excited about that. So no, I would disagree with you, Millie, that artillery isn't good in Domination. My little Groms have consistently gotten 2,000 or 3,000 value. Iron Blasters were one of the most dominant units in the meta for a long time. It's just that we haven't seen true artillery factions come in. Cathay doesn't suck. Their artillery is one of their saving graces. Their cannons are amazing, especially with Harmony. But the problem is Cathay just can't push. They don't kill fast enough. They just don't. Brian asking, have you checked out Mountain Gaming? Yes, I have. He's doing Warhammer Fantasy Battle-Ups. Yeah, I've checked him out. There's a pretty cool channel who I think does some really cool Warhammer Fantasy solo videos. You know what I've been doing? When I paint at night, I'm kind of sitting here, is I've just been watching The Book of Troyer. Have you guys seen his channel? Holy shit, it's so good. He does these lore videos that are just so well done. He's got this really good narrator, and the scripts are really well written, and he uses game footage and takes lore excerpts from the obviously the codex, not codexes, but the battle tomes, whatever they were called back then. And yeah, it's really, really rad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got Batman Freak going with the Bretodia. Yes. It's got the Plague Toads, Soul Grinder, Double Cultist, Furies, and some Plague Bearers. And it looks like he's going to be playing the high ground objective for now. Bretodia is here, and they are not taking any prisoners. Now, looking at the forces of Tzeentch, which are going to be led by the dreaded Houseplant, it is going to be Blue Fire Spam by Blues, Forsaken, and Spawn, which are very much the meta for these bad boys. Then we got some Flamers of Tzeentch being summoned in the back. Flamers of Tzeentch are pretty good at killing anything Nurgle. You point, and it will basically roast those guys. Now, looking here, we do have Forsaken as well as Flamers of Tzeentch, some Spawn of Tzeentch, and that is gonna be it. Book of Troyer got me into Warhammer 2, which got me into you. Hell yeah, John. Dude, Book of Troyer is awesome, man. I love his channel. Every night when I paint, I just throw on one of his lore videos. I listened to the Chaos Dwarfs lore video last night. It was so good. And then also the Empire one. He has a video on the Empire, the founding of the Empire. And then he also has one that is focused on the Battle of Helm Fen and then the Battle of Blackfire Pass. He's got some really good ones. Yeah, he's so good. Anyways, the duel is on. Furies up in the sky are kind of trolling a little bit. You know, they're putting a little bit of pressure on the Herald of Tzeentch. Nothing too crazy. Going to pull back before they take any substantial casualties. The Flamers are going to be very problematic. The Soul Grinder is ambitious. I've tried him several times in this matchup, and since the nerfs... Ooh, man, look at those Blue Fire Spam. I mean, the Blue Fire Spam can pretty much be countered by the Fleshy Abundance, but it still does force you to use a Fleshy Abundance on top of your Herald, right? So Soul Grinder still dropping some shots. Now, the most MLG big brain play for Nurgle right now would be to get their cultists and drop a summon right here and like block the Tzeentch forces from coming up and helping, and then overwhelming the Tzeentch army and trying to get a little bit ahead on value here. That would be just like so powerful. But the cultists are going to be diving in the back, going after the Flamers of Tzeentch, which I think is a good play. You got to shut those down for sure. We do have the Chaos Furies from Batman flying over the head here of the Flamers, looking for their prize, but they're not quite able to find it. Cultists of Nurgle battling here into ye old, I believe those are blues, and, you know, tar pitting them a little bit, but yeah, you got to shut down this shooting for sure. That's like the biggest problem. Nurgle typically wins this matchup by tar pitting the objectives, and now in the back we do see Plague Bearers coming out, so Plague Bearers are going to be making their way downtown towards those two objectives, and Nurgle does have the objective control a little bit, right? Some Plague Toads were sent to their demise down here, as they do get a little bit of work in against the Forsaken, but overall the spawn kill them very, very quickly. Plague Toads are bonus for infantry, and look at that! Tzeentch's Firestorm! Very, very nice. Dropping right there and doing some serious work for sure. Now, Cultists of Nurgle, a very sticky unit. They do have passive regeneration. They're lightly armored, so if exposed in open field against Tzeentch, they can die very quickly. We do also get a Plague Bearer summon. The Plague Bearer summon is doing an okay job. It's kind of tar-pitting some of these units. Like, these Flamers are kind of on the run. Unfortunately, though, these infantry do slip by, and they're going to be able to get on the objective, which may deny Nurgle the capture, which is really unfortunate, because if they want to beat Tzeentch, I think Nurgle needs to get the early capture weight. They're currently down by quite a bit of value. The Herald of Nurgle does get popped once again by the blue fire, and now they're going to be trying to stop these Forsaken. Soul Grinders aren't bad in melee, and now that's going to be the Tzeentch army ability. It's going to fly down from the heavens above, and will be doing some work. Uno, dos, trace, and it is dodged. Well played to Batman. Batman is a very, you know, sneaky, cunning hero, so he's able to dodge that right there. The two Cultists of Nurgle right here in this blob are doing an excellent job, holding back a massive tide. Nurgle's pretty close to capturing this objective, but Tzeentch was able to maneuver some infantry up. Forsaken here. We got one here and one here, so these guys are, of course, all Tzeentch. And here comes the Plague Bearers. So Plague Bearers in open field, man, they are not going to love this. And this is why you typically see your boy Tzeentch do so well against Nurgle. If they can catch you in open field using their Flamers and their shooting and things like that, it's going to be very, very tough. That's an Infernal Gateway. That's right. Yes, I always get them backwards. Hey, Torpid, when are you going to start playing in tournaments, man? I know you're the Dark Lord of Dawn of War 2, but I look forward to seeing you arise and to conquer this game as well. Two forces going to be moving in, surrounding from both sides, and they might be able to get this objective if we do get Neil moving in with the Furies on the back of those blues. They'll actually die pretty quick. They'll crumble due to leadership. The other Forsaken are fighting Forsaken of Houseplant, so the Tzeentch Forsaken right here should probably win that fight. Now, back up on the high ground, objective still hasn't gone to your boy Nurgle. Although the double cultists do have good capture weight, so too does the Soul Grinder. Soul Grinder is one of the cool things about them in this matchup, is actually using them to chase down things like Flamers. They have very high speed at 75, which is, it's not super common for Nurgle to have that kind of a fast ground-based presence. And there goes the Infernal Gateway once again, which is good against Plague Bearer blobs. Very cool to see some different magic being used. But currently Tzeentch is up by a lot of value, which is very normal in this matchup. But Nurgle, if Nurgle goes for a super wide build, they can sometimes hold the objectives long enough that the value lead doesn't matter. But I think the Nurgle build with the Toads and the Soul Grinder opening, even though in theory, like, the Soul Grinder seems very, very good, it's just like, it doesn't kill the Tzeentch stuff quick enough to really justify its value. I like summoning it in a little bit later. Maybe on Arnheim, like, you start with a wide army, right? And then you move up on the middle objectives, then you bring in the Soul Grinder a little bit afterwards. Anyways, Nurgle might be able to get this. They have a lot of Nurglings on the point, so their capture weight really, really skyrocketing. Nurgle's down by about 7,000 value. No biggie. And I believe the Herald of Nurgle is also dead. I think he paid the Troll Toll. We get Plague Toads coming in, so Bertodia is on its way back. And once again, Fecundacy, nice little army healing ability. Nurgle still has not captured this objective. I think Batman may have met his match here. Both players coming into this best of 3 series are undefeated, but it would appear, based on this game, that Houseplant, representing Clan RTK, is going to be probably taking over the throne here. We'll have to see. Millie says something like Turin's Walking Dead opener with Cultists and Pox Riders can win this. Yeah, for sure. We actually had the grand finals of a tournament a week ago where Nurgle defeated Tzeentch in the grand finals. I believe that was actually Houseplant playing Nurgle, defeating a Tzeentch player. So it is very possible. It's just like, Nurgle can do pretty well against Ogres now too. We saw that earlier. It's Nurgle is definitely in a much better state. Tzeentch is probably still their worst matchup, and Kislev. Those two matchups really, really suck for Nurgle because the War Sleds pretty much wreck all their infantry pretty bad. The Elemental Bear can do some work too. Nice little gateway right there. Able to hit the Nurgle forces once again. Nurgle does finally get an objective. Is there going to be any play for them in the low ground? We got Nurglings on their way over, but the problem with Nurglings is that they get wrecked by blues. Like 5 ammo. What's going to happen is the blues, we'll wait till they get a little bit closer, then we'll show you guys. I think some of you in chat may know what's coming. But the Plague Toad's going to be trying to surge onto the objective, but the staying power of Nurgle here is really dissipating very, very quickly. And I think they're going to be out of steam. We do have some pinks back here with good staying power who are just going to be able to shoot on these spawn and just cackle all the way to the bank. And that probably will be all she wrote. Value is pretty massive, guys. That is a balls deep amount of value. And, you know, with a little bit of Nurgle healing. So what's going to happen here, guys, is these blues are going to shoot like this. And it's just going to be right on those Nurglings right there. And there you go. Let's get that. Oh, no, I can't get it. But you guys get the picture, and those Nurglings are going to get absolutely toasted right there. Up at the high ground objective, the last of the Nurgle spawn just getting grinded down by the demons of Tzeentch. Once again, Nurgle's going to have to, he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. A very, very solid attempt by Batman, but that is going to be a rock hard triple cap with a massive value lead as well. A massive value lead. So down here, we do have more and more Forsaken and Plague Bearers on their way. The Cultists of Nurgle chasing down those Flamers. Cultists of Nurgle are so good. I mean, Cultists in general are just really broken units. Like, the Tzeentch ones aren't as bad because they're not, like, super impactful in fighting. So the Tzeentch ones will, like, summon their stuff, and then they're not going to, like, be a persistent threat on the battlefield. But the Khorne and Nurgle ones are just, like, even Slaanesh, they're just so annoying because, like, they're such good fighters and super hard to kill on top of already having a summon. You guys knew it was coming. I couldn't resist. I couldn't. It was just too... It had to happen. I'm never going to grow up. No, never. That's not going to happen. You guys you could talk to my wife about it. Yes. Arrow loves it. See, Arrow is a man of culture here. He appreciates it. But every single time I go to the grocery store and like the guy behind the counter will be like, "Oh, can you just stick it in there?" Like talking about like, you know, my credit card into the thing. Like every chance I get, whether it's Starbucks, like some sort of a restaurant, I'm just gonna drop the "that's what she said." You got to. But that is GG here. Nurgle having a very good run today in today's tournament, actually. Yeah, we had 2 Nurgle victories in my best of 3 that I played in, and then I think we have another one. I think we had one in the series. No, not quite yet in the series, but Nurgle seems to be a lot better after the changes. Seems to be pretty balanced, and I really like how their playstyle is very like solid, very Walking Dead, like swarming. But the Changer of Ways is a really hard foe for Nurgle.
There is only defeat.
Yeah. All right, guys. So with that, we have the grand finals. It is going to be the longtime Warhammer 2 veteran, the Lord of the Mountain King himself, Yumais, facing off against the dreaded Houseplant of RTK. Houseplant, of course, has come into the Warhammer 3 scene and really, really taken over and done some excellent work. So really cool to see newcomers coming. And that's one of the big strengths of Domination, right? Domination has been a gateway for a lot of new people to get into the game, or people who were kind of on the fence in Warhammer 2 and really, really have done well. All right. GG. So, value, obviously, huge value on the Herald, 3,000. Nothing terribly. I mean, I would imagine the Flamers were the big culprits. Yeah, 1,000 there, 1,000 here as well. Melody says, "You're lucky your wife thinks you're cute." My wife says that to me all the time. I'll say something really stupid or like just make like a terrible dad joke in public, and she'll be like, "You're lucky I find you attractive." Yeah, it happens all the time. Well played, Batman. Well played, Batman. And we'll see you back. Houseplant remains undefeated. And now we can go ahead and grab Yumais. So let's go ahead and do this. And there you go. Up, my friend. So no rush. We might need to give Yumais a couple minutes to get here. That is totally fine. And now let's update the goodness. So reset. And let's do it. How did I do in this tournament? I got to the top 4. Yeah, I won my first 3 matches, and then I lost 2-1 in the semifinals. Granted, I was letting chat pick the factions I played at least in one game, so you know, I paid the price a little bit. All right, cool. So now for the grand finals, we're going to be opening up on the Eye in the North for the first map. The Eye in the North. And I will type out the maps to the players. Let them know what the maps are going to be. And we'll do it, man. Life's good. Thank you all for joining, by the way. It's been a really fun night. And Houseplant maps are Eye in North. It's a Crossing Sea of Claws, Arnheim, and then we have one more after that, which is going to be Death's Pass. All right, you might as well be here in 2 minutes, just wrapping up, and then we'll get our best of 5 going, which should be totally fine. Cathay is hopeless against Khorne. I agree with you. I think it's a really brutal matchup. It's not fun at all. That's true. You guys did choose my winning faction. Grant said I'm a Nurgle main, so of course that's going to go that way probably. All right, cool. Curious what we're going to be seeing here. Man, I just wish we had our old world factions back. I say that every single stream, dude. It's going to be so damn fun when we get that. It's going to be so fun. Warden says, I saw a foreign channel with a match between ogres and dwarves and domination. Oh, yeah. Probably some sort of a mod was used to unlock it, which is against the terms of service, so I would wager. Yeah, I think I had something pop up as well that I saw like that, and I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? What is this exciting stuff? Joshua says, I've just come back from a wedding and Turin streams on. Couldn't be happier. Yeah, it's going to be a good night. We have a pretty serious final here, too. Let's look at the leaderboard real quick and see what everything looks like after those most recent games. All right. And heading over to the tournament itself. We are now in the grand finals. So Umai's defeated myself 2-1 to get into the finals, and then Houseplant won 2-1. Looking at the leaderboard, this is actually pretty big because if Houseplant wins tonight, Houseplant is tied with... Yeah, look at this. Houseplant is actually just behind Voidlaws, and it's only based on wins in games played. But if Houseplant is able to win tonight, Houseplant will take over the #1 spot on the leaderboard, which means when we have our grand finals tournament, the season 1 grand finale, Houseplant would have a little bit better seating, right? Because that's how that's going to work. Hey, Dark Age Rush, thank you. Hey, Turin, happy Easter. Does your wife and family do anything? Not really, no. We just usually hang out. You know, enjoy the time together. Nothing special. Eldrin, so I was wondering, is Demons Undivided as OP as people make them out to be? They seem underpowered. They're really good in Domination mode, yeah. Because you just go like Tzeentch Demons. You go Tzeentch Blues, Tzeentch Pinks, Flamers, Cornhounds, and Be'lakor. And it's just like, Be'lakor is like an unholy Terminator. He's probably not balanced for multiplayer. So I think that is a little bit of a problem there. We had a tournament last night as well. There was a Friday night tournament which took place, which was this one. So this was yesterday. And Houseplant defeated Dodokusen X in the grand finals. Yeah, so Houseplant really doing quite well. And you can see Houseplant like defeated Evenstar as well. No easy games. And Outer Region is like a super strong player too from Warhammer 2. Yeah, really, really quite cool. Quite cool indeed. Tomorrow we have another tournament coming up. I'm not going to be casting this one. I'm kind of taking the day to relax a little bit. But this is being hosted by Umais, who's currently in the grand finals, and casted by Dov. So Dov is going to be casting, and it's a Siege Battle tournament being held on the website. So if you guys enjoyed the Siege Battle tournament from last time, you can come and sign up here and, get everything going, which should be pretty good. All right. So the champs are here, and they can do their picks and bans, and we're just going to hang out. Aerocrastic, the great ever chosen, saying, Demons Undivided should be pretty good in current infantry spammy meta. I don't think anybody has as much width as they do, at least not yet. Yeah, you see with Plague Bearers getting buffed too. Holy shit. Like imagine like Demons of Chaos spamming Plague Bearers with blues behind them. Oh my god. That's going to be really, really tough to take down. You like the thumbnail arc? Yeah, I'm glad you like it, man. It's from Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. Old school, man. Old school. Somebody in chat asking where Aerocrastic has been. Well, I'm sure Aero will return when the old world comes back in. We'll probably see a lot of old high-level tournament players from Warhammer 2 and 1 come back. Like when the old factions get added back in, I think so. It'll be interesting to see the leaderboard, you know, when that happens, to see what the scene develops like. Perfect. So Arrow, got a question for you, man. What would you say? So you made a comment about Domination needing more polish, which I think a couple things need to be changed as well. Mainly maps. For me, I think Domination needs more maps, and then if they reduce the amount of funds you get per second by a little bit, I think it would be in a really good spot. But what do you think needs to be changed? Like, what would be your major changes you would like to see for Domination mode? Blues, Plague Bears, and Fleshhound sounds really nasty. It really does. Yeah. Yeah, Plague Bears are pretty good now. Like, now that they're not like 23 speed, it definitely feels a lot better. They were so terrible before, man. They were so terrible. So it's going to be Nurgle versus Khorne on the Eye in the North. This is a very even matchup. It just comes down to play. But I think that Yumais knows how to play Nurgle. I clearly felt the wrath of his Nurgle, and it felt like somebody who has, you know, a solid mastery over the Plague God stuff. Yeah, lots of great players in chat. Absolutely. I'm just gonna when I get access to the old world again, I'm just gonna play the Empire for like 15 games in a row. Just a full Sigmarite boner. Just going at it. It's gonna be great. 5 Nurglings plus 5 blues. I would probably go with Plague Bears instead of Nurglings as like an opening unit because they're just so good at absorbing damage. They have like 11,000 HP and yeah, really meaty. If I was playing Demons of Chaos. Can't wait for Nurgle Warriors with Halberds and Nurgle Knights. Yeah, I mean, if Nurgle gets like a DLC that addresses some of their weaknesses, they could easily become an S tier faction. Because they have a lot of the mechanics that are really good, like Mortis Engine healing. Like, they just lack in some ways. I would say Nurgle isn't even... I honestly prefer Nurgle to Slaanesh. I think Nurgle is better than Slaanesh now. After some of the tournaments I've been casting and playing in myself, I just feel like that's the case. Domination needs an epic ending. It's kind of hard to do that in Domination mode, to have like a cinematic ending. Yeah, that's the big advantage that Land Battles has, is that like it's a less balanced. I mean, it's like you need like an encyclopedia of community rules to make it playable, but Land Battles do give you more climactic engagements and whatnot, right? That's like the one advantage it has. So like I've always kind of been on the fence, but Domination makes for better gameplay. Like when you're the player, you don't have to worry about rules. You can kind of just do whatever is within your ability to do. It's really tricky. Okay, so Arrow says, without changing the way the format plays too much, I think I'd be happy enough if they maybe increase the objective opening timer to 5 minutes and change points to scaling. Okay, copy that. Some good feedback. Some good feedback indeed. 5 minutes. 5 minutes could get a little bit abusive, though, because the thing is with 5 minutes, then factions like Tzeentch would probably abuse more like gooning tactics. Like, you would see more flying goon squads and like things like that against slower factions that can't really defend against it. You know, obviously in tournament Land Battles, we have the rules which force people to attack each other with like non-SEMs, right? But if you had 5 minutes, my only concern would be in Domination mode, is they would be like really cheesy shit in that 5 minutes. How competitive do you think Bretonnia will be? Says Agent Berkeley. I think that Bretonnia will be very good. I think they have the Fey Enchantress, and they have cheap, cost-effective infantry for the most part. So like, what's not to like about Bretonnia? Like, oh my god, imagine playing Bretonnia and parking like a Grail relic on an objective with a bunch of like battle pilgrims. Holy shit, they're gonna hold that objective all day, man. Yeah, I think Nurgle is better than Slaanesh now. I do. Slaanesh is like much harder to play too, and like super high risk, high reward. But I mean, if you're one of those high micro players who like tends to play elves in, you know, game 2, then I think Slaanesh is a good faction for you. Like players like Xiphos. Xiphos had a really nice tournament win where he reverse sweeped Void Laws in the grand finals, and he was using Slaanesh like super efficiently to shut down ogres and a couple other factions. Yeah, it was pretty rad. Man, I've just been getting so excited for the Old World tabletop lately. There's this website I believe they're based in the UK. It's called Troll Trader or something like that, and they sell you know, Old World minis like secondhand. Like people have sold them to them, and they just like sell them secondhand. That's where I've gotten like probably 70% of my Empire army in tabletop. Bretonnia, I don't know if Bretonnia will be number 2. It's hard to say. I think the undead factions will be very good. Vampire Coast will be like map dependent. Like on Itza, Vampire Coast will be fine. Like imagine Queen Best just dropping hot steaming payloads on objectives. That's going to be so damn cool. It's going to be really cool. I believe they're still picking their armies. So let me show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. This website's awesome. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I promise you that. All right. This is where I've been getting like a lot of my minis. So you can come here and you can look at the drop down. They have like pretty much like most of the Warhammer tabletop type games, right? But in Warhammer Fantasy, you can go and look at like all the old minis, and it's like they're so much cheaper. So like here's Bretonnia, for example, right? Oh my god, like these Bretonnia Knights are actually really good models still. Like look at these guys. Let's see if that'll load up. Yeah, like these are sweet, dude. These are sweet, and it's honestly not that much considering like they're out of print and stuff like that. Look at the old metal questing knights. Holy shit! The Morgiana LaFay. Look at this thing. Oh my god. That's a paint job right there. Holy shit. That's still, I mean, look, if you painted that a little bit, you know, that's probably painted by a kid who eventually traded it in. You got the Trebuchet, you got like the Pegasus Knight models. Oh, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. Yeah. Here's a Damsel. Those old Bretonnia Knights are just such classics. They're such classics. So this is where I get like all my Empire army. Bretonnia is a little bit more expensive than other old world factions for some reason. But looking at the, let's see, like Chaos Dwarves are pretty sweet too. Like Lizardmen, Ogre Kingdoms. Let's look at some like Chaos Dwarves right now. I'm sure the players will be ready in just a second. Chaos Dwarves actually have some really like cool new models. Yeah, here's the Magma Cannon. Little Demon Smith here. Bull Centaurs. I love the Chaos Dwarf basic infantry, like the Infernal Guard and things like that. That would be pro painted on eBay. It's like, look how cool these models are. I would love to paint these. These are the Chaos Dwarf like Thunder equivalent. Yeah, super rad. We'll take a look at those in between games. I think it'd be fun to kind of come back there and look at some of them. Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing. We could just do that in between games. Dude, did you guys like the Fey Enchantress there, the Glory? What monstrosity did I just turn into? Yeah. One day in simple green and that metal model is as good as new. Exactly. You can strip the paint off those. So buying like the poorly painted ones and just stripping the paint yourself is very cost effective. Yeah, Empire is still in print in many regards because of Age of Sigmar, so you see them more. All right, guys. Here it is. It is the Grand Finals, which I need to update the nameplates there to say Grand Finals. It is Humais the Mountain King going with a Nurgle build that actually does not use any characters. No Great Unclean One. Holy shit. Look, they're both going double Cultist with no Lord. Man, with the triple Exalted Plaguebearer, or triple Exalted Bloodletter. But, you know, the Plague Toad boys might actually be able to kind of grind them down. Okay, so we have the dreaded desync. It does happen. So just going to screenshot the builds real quick. All right. I got my screenshots. We'll rehost. All right. Sorry about that, guys. It's just the nature of the beast. I really want to host a 2v2 domination tournament one of these days. Yeah, that'd be really fun. So while they get back, we can return to our haggard scouting of models here. All right. And Houseplant. But once they desync once, it doesn't happen again. It's like the strangest thing. All right, so they're on their way back. Cool. And we're all good. So the players will rejoin here. Hopefully they don't have any problems. Yep, got them the army codes. They probably just had to restart their game here. And we'll do it. I'm trying to think of like what armies have really haggard models. I'll show you guys the Tomb Kings after this. Tomb Kings have some pretty like old models. Chaos Dwarves have new models because they were actually in Age of Sigmar until recently. So Chaos Dwarves aren't as like potato looking, that's for sure. Yeah, I think Demons of Chaos would be a little bit too strong, guys. I do indeed. All right, good luck, have fun. We're officially loading in this time. So we had a little bit of a teaser of the armies, right? It was the double cultists for both players, which clearly is saying something about them. And then it's going to be Plague Toads. I'm really curious to see how Plague Toads do. Like, because the thing is, like, the Pox Riders of Nurgle might be really good counter against Bloodletters and Exalted Bloodletters, but they get wrecked by Spawn. So that's, like, my only concern in that situation. You obviously get a couple Plague Bearer summons for the blobs and can get some good work done. Can we get a 2v2 siege tourney? That's some wild shit. That's some wild shit. Yeah, if you guys haven't played with Demons of Chaos in multiplayer, they're really good. Like, Be'lakor is just unholy. Like, what he brings. He truly is unholy. He just has, like, 10,000 HP. He flies, hits like a truck. Has, like, ward save. Just so many good abilities. And honestly, he's pretty reasonably priced, you know? All right, finals. There, look at that. We're getting the graphics going. Dude, the old giant Sphinx is one of the most sought after models. That's, yeah. It's on there on that website. They're selling 2 of them actually, Melody. They're expensive as hell though, because they're like obviously super out of print. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so looking at the undefeated champion, currently number 2 on our leaderboard behind Voidlaws, but if he wins this best of 5, he'll be taking over the number 1 spot. It is going to be RTK Houseplant, backed up with Exalted Bloodletters and Spawn. Exalted Bloodletters, you might not think they're great against Nurgle. You're like, why are you paying for armor piercing here? Well, they pretty much defeat every single Nurgle unit in combat, in terms of the infantry, including the Exalted Plague Bearers. On top of that, as they kill, 80 units, which they almost always do by massacring Nurglings and Plague Bearers, they get a nice little buff to their damage of 20%. You got Spawn. Spawn are really good. They wreck pretty much anything light armor, which is Nurgle in a nutshell. Double Cultist, and that is it. So for the Nurgle army, let's look at it. Nurglings, obviously not going to do much in the fight. They just apply poison, and they have Vanguard. They grab objectives. Forsaken will get crumped really bad by Exalted Bloodletters, but they'll put a little bit of hurt on them as well with their 58 weapons rank. Spawn, double Toads. Toads are a theoretical counter against Exalted Bloodletters. Like, they're bonus versus infantry, and like the bonus versus infantry from the Bloodletters doesn't apply to them, so that's actually a very favorable trade. So yeah, we'll have to see. Predictions. I always want to root for Papa Nurgle, but I really like both these players. I think they're both great sports and great people in general. Really doing a lot for the community, hosting fun tournaments and all that stuff. So, no favorites here. It's going to be great. It is going to be great indeed. So Khorne looks like they're going to be advancing up on the middle objective. They're just going to be chilling there. They're grabbing the dudes. They're like, hey man, let's go sit in the middle. Let's hang out. Let's enjoy our life and do it. What is the summons going to be though? Are we seeing banked resources? We do see Houseplant banking, whereas here we see Exalted Plague Bearers being summoned in, and the dreaded tactical reserves here in the back. Hopefully he doesn't forget this. That would actually be a big misplay. It's 800 gold. That thing's a pretty important piece of your puzzle, right? Now in the back, it looks like we might see a Cultist summon here. Kind of an interesting choice. Yumais is really good at spatial control. I've noticed that. Now the Plague Bearer summon is going to be kited by the Exalted units in the spawn, but it's also going to give the opportunity for Nurgle to get a foothold on the objective. So even though this maybe wasn't like, a huge combat efficient, summon, it's going to open up the objective. So Nurgle's going to get on this one. The middle one's going to go to Khorne, and Nurgle probably will get this one as well. Back here, we do have a Plague Bearer summon. So Yumais uses his summon super early on, like really early, and both of them get baited out to an extent, but we do also have Toads like hot on the tail of these guys, and the Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne are taking some casualties from the Nurgle Toads now. So the Toads are going to be jumping in and, should in theory be very good against these Exalted boys. Now the other Plague Bearers still pushing them back. Nurgle is able to get a really nice stranglehold on this objective, and here we do get the Pox Riders of Nurgle teamed up here with the Cultists trying to fight the Bloodletters, but unfortunately for them, there were some Corn Dogs summoned in. So we get some Corn Dogs straight out of the Carnival right here, and they were able to come in and help. Yumai is moving the Nurglings and the Spawn and Forsaken up to intercept the Doggos. And we will see if they're able to get that done. Middle objective is going to be pressed by Yumais with the Exalted Plague Bearers, which will probably lose this fight. Like, Spawn are going to give them the business, and so too will the Exalted Plague Bearers. Like that 2v1 or 3v1 especially. We got Furies coming in and more Plague Bearers. Unfortunately, he has tactical reserves right here, so he's forgot about that Beast of Nurgle, which I'm sure he'll realize soon. Value is pretty even, which is always a good sign for Nurgle, considering they have healing and Khorne doesn't, but it's not as big of a deal in this situation, considering that we do not have any healing for Nurgle. And now the summons of the Houseplant are going to be a little bit more efficient, it looks like. So there's going to be a Bloodletter summon in the back, and they are going to surround into the back of the forces of Nurgle here. And honestly, Nurgle's going to get crushed pretty badly up on this objective, or this open field engagement that I'm talking about right here. So tough one for him. Exalted Plague Bearers fighting okay, putting a bit of a dent in the Bloodletters here, but obviously in a precarious situation. The tactical reserves in the back, though, they need to come in. That Beast of Nurgle needs to get busy. Nurgling's going to be waddling up on the objective as the far side objective is taken by the champion of the Plague Gods. So yeah, looks like this objective should go to Nurgle unless Yumais makes a mistake and sends those Forsaken off the objective, which I don't think he's going to now. The one silver lining for this fight up here is Nurgle is like occupying a massive amount of Khorne's forces and keeping them away from, any pertinent objectives. While Nurgle is going to be grabbing the back objective here, and this one for sure. Khorne is also sending more and more units here into a bit of a meat grinder. The Pox Riders plus the Cultist and the Spawn should be able to kind of, consistently kill these units here in the back and do well. We will have to see. But the middle is going to be going to the Corn Dogs for sure. Plague Bearers are tar-pitting the objective and buying some time for Nurgle to get some points. And currently Nurgle does have a 150-point lead, which has got to feel pretty good. It's small, but, it's sending a message. One Cultist has come back. I would imagine Yumais probably will unsummon this guy. And the Beast of Nurgle, has he noticed it yet? It does not look like he has. So the Beast of Nurgle, at the very least, This is going to be like a little prize you discover in the late game. Like, oh, look at that! It's like losing a quarter or something and then discovering it in your pocket later, or like $1 or something, with a little bit more of unfortunate consequences, of course. But Nurgle's holding back the summons of Khorne. The dual weapon warriors are theoretically pretty good against most of these things, not so much against the spawn. Nurgling's going to be tar pitting off these dual weapon warriors, but these Khornate champions are going to give the business, and they're going to be popping some popcorn pretty hard. Bonus versus infantry, hard hitting. You can already see the Nurglings are getting melted. Holy shit, look how quickly they die. And yeah, spawn of Khorne are on their way in. Nurgle does have the 2 cap right now. They're down by about 4,000 value. Just got hurt pretty bad, and the back objective is also being threatened. So the house plan is really threatening from multiple angles right now. We have Exalted Bloodletters and Spawn doing their thing. I really feel like against Khorne, you need the Great Unclean One. He's so good at Mortis Engineing things down. Also, the Beasts of Nurgle are really essential because they trade super well into the Spawn and things like that, actually. They hit hard. They killed the models outright, so they can kill the Spawn models. Not quickly, but, reasonably efficiently. Granted, Spawn hurt them pretty bad, too, so it's a bit of an attrition fight. But it's looking like Khorne is going to take over this game. They've doubled the value against Nurgle, which is really uncommon. Typically, Nurgle will stay together in a blob. Nurgle is like trying to play this game like Khorne a little bit, where they're like playing a bunch of objectives on the field instead of having like a character blob, which is normally what they do. Like a lot of times you'll see Nurgle get like a SEM blob here and then just like bounce between these 2 objectives like right here. Oh, that was a good opportunity. I could have drawn something there, but the Beast of Nurgle is finally coming. Yumais has brought the mighty beast, and it is going to be waddling back to the objective. I don't think the Beast of Nurgle is going to be enough to save the game. This objective is going to be taken by Khorne. Granted, Nurgle is up by about 1,000 points, about 800 give or take. But this one's going to be going here pretty quickly. I think that your boy Khorne are probably going to get this as they're pouring in more and more infantry. Very comfortable that he can get his spawn and his dual weapon warriors to chew through this. So he knows, and this is a veteran play. Like a lot of newer players might keep sending stuff here, like thinking it's going to be necessary, but he knows how much he needs to get it done, and the rest is going to keep moving to the back objective. Now, Nurgle here is holding Khorne in the pass. I don't know if they're going to be summoning like a big lord or something. It looks like we got Nurglings going for a ninja, which I think is a good play. I think if you're in this position as Nurgle, you have to go for like super haggard, desperate plays, right? Like, and this is for sure that. Like Nurglings, there's 2 of them here going to be moving on to the objective, and they might be able to get it. We'll see. Nurgle's magic is also super good here. Like the healing is amazing, and on top of that, you also get access to the Stream of Corruption, which does excellent damage against these Khornate units. But Nurgle seems to be on the back foot 100%. Objective 3 is back to Khorne. Khorne is in a position where they can comfortably win with 2 points here. Yumais is moving Nurglings down, and the Khorne dual weapon warriors, they stand ready. And these guys are definitely one of the cooler looking units in the game, and the Nurglings are going to be surging down the hill. Warriors can easily take a downhill charge from these bowling balls. Wouldn't it be funny if they actually turned into bowling balls and like just rolled down? He knows it's over. A veteran, he knows when he has been bested. GG, well played. Game 1 is going to be going to the forces of the House Plant, proving that he is indeed an unholy terror here in the community and is doing very, very well. I love the build. I think it's pretty good. I think the Great Unclean One is very good against that as well, but in the end, the Toads did not quite cut it. And that is going to be game 1 going to the house plant. Now the next game is going to be Itza. I think it's going to be Itza. Yes. So the battle for Itza is upon us. Players will now do their next picks and bans, and we'll hang out. Yes. Nurgle's breaking even today. 2 wins, 2 losses. We've had them win twice and lose twice as well. GG, well played. What will we see next? You know what, guys? If anybody's going to pick Cathay, it would be the Mountain King. It would be Yumais. He's a Cathay Chad, but I think you got to wait for Khorne and Nurgle to be off the menu before you pick Cathay, because if you try and play Cathay against Nurgle, Aerocrastic and I were playing this the other night and testing it out, and man, oh man, whoever was playing Nurgle just like steamrolled the Cathay player. It's just like they were just trapped in their deployment zone and they just got like triple capped. Both times. The Toads tried. I like the Toad as a reinforcement unit, not as a starting unit. I think the Toad coming in to run over the Bloodletters once they're a little bit less supported by spawn is a good call, but I just think you got to have the Great Unclean One and the 2 Beasts of Nurgle and the Cultists. It's just so strong. It is so strong indeed. If you think you guys want to do custom Demon Princes in tournaments? Oh my god. Yeah, that would be pretty wild. We could do that. How does it work? When you load a custom Demon Prince into multiplayer, how does that work? Does he get his items that you got in campaign, or Does he just get like his like, how does that work? Yeah, somebody's got to explain that. Yeah, Be'lakor I think is the best. Be'lakor is really good in terms of the Demon Prince characters. The Red Ogre is not bad. He hits hard and he heals in combat. The Nurgle one is kind of haggard. I feel like the Nurgle Demon Prince isn't very good. The Tzeentch one is great though. He's got Gaze of Fate and some other good abilities and is decent in combat as well. Senpai says, I have won Cathay versus Nurgle on this map a few times with Fire Rain, Rocket, Meow, and Sentinel. It's possible for sure. But Torpid, were you playing a good Nurgle player, like a tournament level player? That's the question, because that changes everything. Yeah, Khorne is impossible in general for Cathay. Not impossible, but a super hard matchup. I mean, Cathay is just so bad compared to most other factions, yeah. Did any of you try Missile Infantry, Magic, or Skyjunks? Yeah, I did. We both used the Skyjunk. The Skyjunk got good value, but what happened was we just got stuffed in the deployment zone. And it's really, really tough to stop. So, next picks here. They're scheming right now. Perfect. Oh my god, no. Umai's is going Cathay. And if anybody's going to play Cathay, though, it's going to be him. Because if you guys haven't seen this, we haven't had, like, too many new guides. Because, like, it's kind of like we're not writing new content for the website as much right now because we want to wait for the old world to come back in before we hit the content hard on the website because, so much is going to be changing. And Domination is still in flux, too. So it's kind of like... But Umai's wrote a really good guide. So if you guys are like new to the game, he wrote a really, really in-depth, like beautiful guide with like illustrations and explaining all the units. And it's been updated too. It has like some sample builds for a couple different matchups that you can play in and things like that. So if you guys are interested, you can check this out on the website. Definitely some excellent work. I gotta hire him to write some more guides because he is just very thorough and does a super good job with those. What magic lore do you think is the strongest? I don't know. There's a bunch of good ones. I love Nurgle's lore. Nurgle's lore is really good. Grand Cathay versus Slaanesh. Okay, this is actually not a bad matchup for Cathay. This is like one of the few matchups Cathay can do well in. Yeah. Like the Air Force of Cathay is really nasty here in this one. It's really, really nasty. Eddie asking in chat says, hey Turin, have you watched Play on Tabletop's 40K in 40 minutes? Yeah, I love those videos. I put them on while I'm painting. They're great. Talk about like really good quality stuff, All right. Sorry, guys. Just having a sip of water there. Scott says, finally broke top 100 on the ladder. There's no small part in watching Turin. Hey, right on, man. Scott, we got to get you in some of these events, man. Come test your might. I'm sure you do great. We have a lot of new players playing in these tournaments as well. So even if you've never played in one before, I think Domination is very welcoming compared to land battles. Granted, I still do love me some land battles, but... Yeah, it's got to be Slaanesh versus Grand Cathay. Cathay's going to try their best. We'll see if they can do the Dragon Emperor proud. Battle of the Bad Factions. Slaanesh is weird. They're just hard to play, but Houseplan is like seems to be very proficient with like all these factions. Balloon Magistrate time? No. Torpid, don't put that evil out there. There will always be a junk. This is the Cathay meta. You go Dragon Blooded Lord of Yang. You use the Fire Breath attack. You go junk and double Longma to protect the skies, and then you just like fight on the ground and just blast everything. Yeah, it's pretty good. Matt says, your Dawn of War streams convinced me to pick up my first 40K models. Right on, man. Welcome to the addiction. Hopefully you're financially successful and stable because it is gonna get you. I wanted to get back into Warhammer. Got a 3D printer. Yeah, I wish your friends played. Yeah, it's hard, Zach. When you live somewhere where and it's even worse now because if I want to play like a good 40K game against like another player who I know, like a friend of mine, like I have to drive maybe like an hour and a half. And with gas prices being like almost $6 a gallon, it's like, it's every time I go to do that, it's just like, it's a huge just punch like right in the sausage. It's not great. Cathay will be better someday. Cathay is going to be crappy. And then there's going to be a DLC that adds like, 4 or 5 new units that'll just completely change the way they play and make them good. That's what's going to happen. You know what, Jarl? I haven't played the new Demon Prince campaign, so I can't really speak to that. All right, so looking at the Cathay army, guys, let me go ahead and break this one down for you. So it's basically just Jades and Spears on the ground. and they just fight for objectives. Meanwhile, Slaanesh is one of the few demon factions that really can't deal with air forces. They only have their Furies, right? So a Skyjunk can easily be protected by 2 Long Marauders. Therefore, the Skyjunk just kind of sits in the middle of the map and does whatever it wants and blasts the Slaanesh army. Now, the answer for Slaanesh with this is they just go hog wild with infantry. Slaanesh just goes mass infantry and swarms the objectives, and then summons in the occasional cav unit to just kind of hammer and anvil your army, which is how they do it. Matt says your $200 budget became $500 with supplies. The longer you play Games Workshop games, like you'll start to eventually learn tricks like buying minis from eBay or secondhand sites and then just stripping the paint off those to save money, because a lot of people sell horribly painted minis like super cheap, and you can strip the paint yourself and save a ton of money. Also, you also realize you don't always have to use Citadel paints and like Citadel brushes. Like I went and got a pack of brushes from my local art store in town, which was the brushes were like $3 for like 3 of them, and they're just as good as the Games Workshop brushes, which cost like $10 a piece or something like that. It's crazy. Yeah, airbrushes are also good. I don't use them. I'm a brush man, but that's just because airbrushes are a little bit tricky for my hand. But yeah, airbrushes are definitely something to learn. So yeah, we do have Exalted Demonettes of Slaanesh, and the Slaanesh army is just going to be hiding in the shadows while the objectives open up. So they're just going to be sitting just out of range of the Skyjunk. The Skyjunk, how are they going to play this? We got Peasant Horsemen here for you mice, with Long Marauders. Long Marauders really do crush a lot of the Slaanesh cav, because Slaanesh really wants to get the charge, you know, and they can't against the Long Marauders. I mean, they can if it's like an overlapping charge and they're busy fighting something else, but I would probably not attack here with the Long Marauders against these Marauders. I feel like that's a trap because of the Vanguard summon right here. Holy shit! Look at the Dragon Breath right there. Beautiful. It hits the Exalted Demonettes plus the Marauders and gets some huge damage, immediately getting like 300 value or something like that. Wow. That was really good. So the Skyjunk is dropping some of its junk in Slaanesh's trunk here and continues to bombard them. Not doing too much damage. It's better at closer range, for sure. It can definitely do a little bit more work in that way. Now, Cathay is probably going to summon a Terracotta Sentinel, I would imagine, hiding their infantry, and it looks like the infantry for Cathay, are they going to move up to the high ground? Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and wrestle the high ground objective and then kind of surge their way towards the middle. So their game plan is kind of, you know, it's here. Hiding the Herald of Slaanesh in the bushes, waiting to bring it out for when the heavy fighting starts. Big charges coming in. Peasant Horsemen actually running into the Marauders of Slaanesh. Not doing bad damage, mind you. It's pretty impressive. Man, look at the Peasant Horsemen just going deep. And now we're going to get Seekers of Slaanesh summoned. Very risky for the Long Marauders to engage here. Double Seeker and Hellstrider. Are the Longmas of Yumai's going to engage? That really is the question here. Now, we do get the Skyjunk and the Cathay infantry forces moving up. Peasant Horsemen were able to pull back, and that was actually really good, because that baited a ton of cav out here, and the Peasant Horsemen really didn't take too much damage, so maybe some of them will stay and fight. I would not like to see Longmas going, but a big breath attack here, right down this like blobbed core of cav would just be super strong. Oh, the dreaded double Skyjunk! That junk needs to move up, though. You got to move it up on the objective so it can actually like hit a little bit more consistently. So far, though, Cathay seems to be doing pretty good. Huge breath attack. Oh, that was so good! It's an infantry and also roast some of the cav. Longma Riders are waiting for infantry support to move in. See, a lot of players would have charged their Longmas at that fight over there, thinking that was like a good opportunity, but shit, we're seeing some really good patience here from Yumai's. Now, Longma Riders are now engaging. They're away from the Slaanesh spawn zone, and they immediately just get big damage on the Hellstriders, but also they could be countercharged. The Seekers could come in here and really start to punish them potentially. Although we do see the Might of Heaven and Earth. It's going to be giving magical attacks against the Seekers. And some sort of Slaanesh witchcraft is going down. I think it was the lore passive. And is the Herald of Slaanesh on an Exalted Chariot? Holy shit! Look at this! Haven't seen one of these things yet. I was actually making a video on what I thought the worst units are, and I was going to say the Exalted Chariot's probably for Slaanesh, but you know, you never know. It is hard to say indeed. So, here they're fighting, Peasant Horsemen being summoned in. I think that Slaanesh is probably going to be winning the ground fight, and the Longma Riders kind of got crumped a little bit by the countercharge and the Seekers. Big breath attack coming in, as Cathay is actually slightly ahead on value, but Slaanesh has done a very good job kind of equalizing that. And also they do have control over the objectives. The Skyjunks up in the sky, just shooting away, but Exalted Demonettes are going to make quick work of most of this stuff here. Some sort of witchcraft going down, Locus of Grace, which is the activated ability from the Lord from Slaanesh, going to be giving some physical resist, does not hurt by any stretch. And Long Marauders up in the sky looking for more opportunities as Slaanesh continues to wrestle the objectives. Slaanesh currently owns 1 and 3. And Cathay doesn't really have too many efficient ways to get those objectives back. Here we do get more Longmas moving in. Long Marauders do get a good charge on the Hellscourge cav. And we need to see more dragon-blooded breath attacks as the entire Cathay infantry corps gets absolutely just slapped in the face by the forces of Slaanesh, which of course is pretty status quo. I mean, most Cathay infantry are just kind of terrible in general. They just get crumped. You know, that's their favorite thing. They just love it. Breath attack coming in from the Dragon-Blooded Lord. The Junks were giving a little bit of harmony in combat. We do get some Furies coming in, so Furies will be attacking. Sky Junks do have a shit ton of HP. Value is really close, though, man. I mean, it's to the point where, you know, if the Sky Junks can keep doing work, maybe they can eventually soften up these Slaaneshi forces, but I think it's looking like Slaanesh is in a pretty commanding position right now. Peasant Horsemen trying to run in, maybe give a little bit of buffering. Jade Warriors, hopefully their formation attack is being turned off. It's so haggard. It's like a Cathay player tax where you have to like turn off one of your main mechanics just to have a unit not be terrible. Looks like a Fascination's coming down from Slaanesh, a really good play. It's going to rampage the Great Long Riders. So Fascination is one of the army abilities of Slaanesh, which does damage, but it's not so much about the damage, it's more about rampaging them into bad cav fights, right? And Slaanesh Furies obviously will lose pretty badly to Longmas in a head-up fight up in the sky. But, you know, in this case, they're on the ground, they're busy with other things, there's Marauder Spears, and those Furies are going to put some serious hurt, because Slaaneshi Furies do have really, really good armor-piercing values. Right now, Slaanesh is up by about 1,300 value. Cathay is being pushed back pretty horribly. Jade Warriors, theoretically speaking, should be good against the Marauder Infantry due to their armor, but their 24 melee attack in conjunction with their poor weapon strength just doesn't do the trick. And now we have some Peasant Spears moving up onto the middle. Peasant Spears are going to lose pretty bad to Marauders of Slaanesh. We have the double Jade Warrior. One of the old junks up in the back is getting wrecked, and the other junk up in the sky is now being attacked by Furies. As the Longmas, that's the problem. Like, the Longmas commit to fight other things, and then your Air Force becomes, like, mega vulnerable here. But Cathay is not a faction that fights well from behind. The times you see Cathay win games is when they're actually up in value, and even if they're losing on objectives, they can eventually like shoot you off using their cannons or other things like that. But pretty much nothing in this game is going well for Cathay at this point. We had a couple of cute engagements in the beginning in which Cathay did very well. Yumai is showing some really good grit, of course, and tenacity and good micro. But overall, the Slaaneshi army composition just seems so much stronger, and the Cathay infantry really just can't do much against them. Nice breath attack there. It melts some of the Exalted Demonettes, and now Cathay is going to be moving up onto the middle objective, trying to contest that. Points currently up to 1,700, and Yumai is going to withdraw. You know, he knows when it's over, and I do appreciate that, because a lot of players, including myself, sometimes keep going, thinking there's a chance, but at that point, there really wasn't. The junks are actually good. I don't know about double junk, but single junk can do some work for sure. Yeah, they didn't get a chance to do too much value. And overall, yeah, the long whip play, like, I don't really know how else you approach that. Do you have to go with, like, Jade Lancers and shit and just try and go, like, elite infantry? But if you go elite infantry, the Exalted Demonettes are going to massacre you. Maybe you have to go, like, Iron Dragon, like, big combat character. It's a mystery, because Cathay is just, they're so hard to play, man. They're so hard to play. They just feel so much worse than other factions. It's okay, though. You know, we had the High Elves in Warhammer 2, who were, like, the meme faction, and now we have Cathay. There always has to be one. Somebody has to carry on the torch of being the worst faction, and today it's going to be Grand Cathay. So now we move on to the next map. It is going to be, let me see here, looking up, and let's check it out. It's Crossing of the Sea of Claws. That is a pretty cool map. I've always liked this one. Peasant archers aren't going to last very long. With Furies and like cavalry running around, like, I don't know, man. Houseplan is really doing incredibly well. You'd have to go Nest of Bees. You see, Jesse knows. Jesse knows the way. You need the Nest of Bees. You need the Palace Guard. You need some of those sweet units. Grenadiers. Yeah, why doesn't... Oh my god, if Cathay should have Grenadiers, that'd be super cool. I bet you that'll be like a DLC unit, the lad. Like giving them like just grenade launchers, like Poison Wind type units, but with big explosive damage. That'd be so cool. All right, so Crossing of the Sea of Claws. It's very much a brawler map. Slaanesh is pretty popular on this map. Ogres, Nurgle is very good here too. Houseplant clearly seems to be quite proficient at the demon factions so far. Kislev is on the table too, though. Like a really gross kind of Kislev blob here would also be incredibly efficient. Spellbound says Jade Lancers are surprisingly good in this matchup. They counter Hellstriders fairly well and trade OK into Seekers. Yeah. Fire Lancers also, yes, Brian. I agree. I think that could be good as well. They pushed all the way to the enemy's vanguard point. They were trying to take the objective, yeah, which I understand. It's just so hard. It's so hard to do. All right. So the tournament is on. In the meantime, while the players do their picks and bans, let me see what it's going to look like here. And then we got Corn. All right. So Yumai is going to be on Khorne here. And we can keep looking at minis together, which is going to be kind of fun. So back here, let's look at some serious haggardness. Okay, so Warhammer Fantasy. Let's look at the Ogre Kingdoms, Orcs and Goblins, Skaven, Tomb Kings. Let's look at the Tomb Kings. Frostlight, did I break up with That's What She Said? No, I just haven't had as many good opportunities. Oh my god, look at these skeletons. Lich Priest doesn't look bad. He looks okay. A respectable model. The basic Tomb King model here too doesn't look bad either. He's pretty rad looking. Oh my god, look at this carrion. Holy shit. That is a potato of a model. I like the basic skeleton warriors. Man, Tomb Kings are just such a cool army. Chariots are pretty sweet. Those actually look really cool. Those would probably be kind of hard to paint too. Tomb Kings seem to have a lot of detail in their minis. Here's a Screaming Skull Catapult. Ushabti. Oh, that's actually a sweet model. I really like the Ushabti there. I feel like they're actually still pretty cool. Yeah, Khalidah's a badass model. Like, I almost just want to get this for collector's purposes. Just grab like a Khalida model. Like that model is sweet. If you just like updated it to plastic and yeah, and like just fine-tuned it a little bit, I feel like that stance would be super cool. There's some Ushabti there. Lich Priest. Tomb Guard are good too. I think Tomb Guard, they aged okay. A little bit cartoony compared to some of the modern undead units, but overall, not bad. I wonder if they have Cetra for sale on this website. So the players are just picking right now. Damn, that model is sweet. That thing aged super well. That must be like new. Like the Sphinx? Dude, that thing is rad. It's like cooler than any models in Age of Sigmar in my... Like, what Age of Sigmar monster is cooler than this? I don't know. Yeah, Chili Master, I did see the Death Guard Terminator's got a nice little buff for sure. Necropolis Knights. Sepulchral Stalkers look pretty good too. Honestly, yeah, you could throw together a pretty good army. Obviously, they're really expensive because they're out of print. But like a Tomb Guard Halberd unit for $50, that's what you would pay Games Workshop like to get those same models in their prime. Yeah, this is pretty rad. Man. Can we see vampire counts? Sure. You want to see vampire counts? Let me just make sure the players are ready. Oh, wow, they're both ready. Jeez. Wait, Houseplants on Nurgle. Okay, so we got to switch back here, guys. After the tournament's over, we can like look around a little bit together. We'll chill. That Sphinx is super cool. But that website's a really good place for getting old minis. Like, and if you're like, if you want to get like cheaper minis, like Tomb Kings are obviously expensive because they're super rare. But like Empire, if you want to start an Empire army, it's really cheap. It's like really, really quite cost effective. Cetra does not sell. Yeah, he doesn't. People don't sell their Cetras, I would imagine. All right, so it's going to be Big Chungus Nurgle versus Khorne. We have an Exalted Great Unclean One versus the Herald of Khorne. The Duel of Fates is upon us. I think Houseplant's build is very similar to mine, except he uses the Exalted Demons instead of the basic ones. I usually use basic Plague Bearers and go a little bit wider, but the Exalted Demons do very, very well. We'll see how they perform. Oh, man, I didn't get to the Bone Giant there. I could have shown you guys the Bone Giant. Torpid says, if Cathay had some monstrous infantry that had anti-infantry... Yeah, for sure. That, like, Cathay needs, like, a hard-hitting aggressive unit that can push back against you. You know, that's really what they need. They just don't have it. Like, their infantry are all, like, spears or halberds. The only sword or aggressive infantry they have is, like, the Jade Warrior, which, like, with 24 melee attack, like, what are you going to do? And, like, their elite infantry are halberds. Halberds have a super slow attack rate, so they're not going to, like, grind you off an objective. And, like, theoretically, Cathay's shooting should be good. You have, like, you know, crane gunners, you have a bunch of units like that, but they just, they tend to just not get it done. All right. So, the Nurgle army is going to be triple Exalted Plague Bearer. No, double Cultist, Spawn, and Exalted Great Unclean One. Very good build. It has all the fundamentals. No Beast of Nurgle. Often you go with Spawn instead, which is very respectable. And for Yumais, we've obviously seen how good the Exalted Bloodletters are, and they're super cool looking. These models are so goddamn rad. But these guys are great against most of the Nurgle infantry. And we got Spawn backing him up, a Herald as well here for the Mountain King. And that appears to be it. That appears to be it. Cathay, they should just take the Gorger from the Ogre Kingdom's roster and just give it to Grand Cathay. Just call it a day. Just call it a day, man. Just give it to him. Give it to him, precious. So the Hordes of Hell are moving. The Herald of Khorne and the Cultists moving across. as these shielded warriors move to the middle. The Nurgle army seems to have a pretty set trajectory. It would appear that the 2 spawn units right here are moving up this way. Kind of like that. Very long, aggressive approach. And they're just going to get 1 and maybe slow push over to 2. Typically, Nurgle will go for the middle objective, but it looks like Nurgle wants to kind of force a blob fight right here. You know, that's going to be the plan. More and more Plague Bearers coming out, so these are the basic variants. Plague Bearers, like, in general, aren't, like, super good against Coordinated Infantry, but they just have such big HP and such a solid presence on objectives that typically you see them being used across the board. Exalted Plague Bearers can actually goon things pretty well. If you grab your 2 Exalted Plague Bearers and put them in guard mode and use their ranged attack on top of, like, spawn, they can actually surprisingly melt them. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So Khorne getting their Chaos Warriors down on Ye Old objective, so here they come, waddling forth. Whereas down here on objective number 3, we do get the Exalted Bloodletters and the spawn hanging out, just looking to grab that. Nurgle's going to have to play these 2 for sure. Because Khorne, like, contesting this is going to be very difficult for Nurgle at this point. Nurgle needs to kind of dedicate their forces a little bit earlier for sure. What if you take Zhao Ming when you get access to some Ogre units? What if when you take... Oh, that would actually be kind of good. Like, if Cathay could bring in a couple Ogre mercenary units, that would for sure make them better. Yeah, that would for sure make them better. I agree. So, Nurgle's forces moving up to 1. Going to be starting on 1. And now we get some Forsaken moving to the middle point. Forsaken backed up by Spawn. Probably need to grab Big Chungus at this point. So you get Big Chungus right here. And you get the Cultists, and you just move all those guys up to the middle. And just leave a Plague Bearer and 1 Spawn unit here, I think. With Nurgle, a big part of playing with them is resource allocation. It's like knowing how many of which unit to send where. Because they're very slow, so you have to be methodical with the way that you dictate a unit and where you want to, have it be. I probably would bring a spawn here to the middle too. Like 1 Plague Bearer and 1 spawn of Nurgle is probably going to be enough here for Houseplant. We'll have to see though. We will have to see. In the meantime, spawn of Khorne and the Exalted Bloodletters going to be hustling around. Looks like they're turning to go up here, so I guess maybe leaving a couple extra units there isn't a bad idea. And we are going to have our fight in the middle. Objectives will be opening up in about 19 seconds. If Nurgle could get on this point before the points open up, that would actually be really, really good. Because it would keep them from, losing that initial skirmish there. Forsaken get wrecked by Exalted Bloodletters. Exalted Bloodletters are designed to kill like this, exactly this infantry unit, right? But Big Chungus is coming, and this giant angry toddler is mad. He is moving across. He's swinging his old chain, and he is going to be dropping the Stream of Corruption there, which does okay damage. Bloodletters do have spell resist of 25%, I think. Yeah, so it does not do that much damage. Now, this is going to be a really good veteran play here from Yumai's as well. If he can block these guys from getting on the objective by forcing the fight like right here, that would just be super MLG. That would be very, very strong. So if he can keep them off the point and get the capture weight, that would be a big win. So now Big Chungus is here. He's got a Mortis Engine, which is going to start kind of ticking down here on the Exalted Bloodletters. He's also hits very hard. He's able to kill spawn models outright with his Bell attack. The high ground objective is being taken by Nurgle, so the fact that he left the 2 spawn there ended up being a good choice. And the 2 cultists of Nurgle are also going to be hustling across this way as Houseplant attempts to hold the point against the onslaught of the Mountain King Yumai's. Yumai's does have the bottom objective. 1 unit of Bloodletters is kind of camping down there, which I suppose you want to leave maybe just in case Nurglings go down there and try and jack it. You got to go for the points. Middle point is also owned by Khorne, so Khorne is up 2-1 in terms of the capture points. Exalted Plague Bearers here are going to be held back and probably honestly killed. The really, really nice summon coming in from the Mountain King here. He is able to get it on top of the Exalted Plague Bearer units, and they're going to be chopping away, doing the best that they possibly can. Big man fighting like an absolute beast over here for the Houseplant. It is giving the business to the Herald of Khorne. Obviously, the Herald is a lesser demon. He's not a greater demon of his god, and the Big Chungus is able to kind of establish dominance there. Mortis Engine effect draining down these guys. And there's only 1 spawn of Khorne, so it looks like Houseplant has been manually giving the attack order to actually just slap the spawn. And look at that. The Great Unclean One has 10 kills, all of which are Chaos Spawn. So just methodically going after those. So Khorne is holding the 2 objectives. Khorne might be able to go for some sort of a Helm's Deep situation. It looks like they're behind in value, so Nurgle is slightly outvaluing them here. Khorne does have more and more troops coming up, Bloodletters and more Bloodletters and more Bloodletters all over the place using their speed. They're a little bit faster than Khornate Warriors, so oftentimes you're going to be seeing Khorne Warriors and initial armies because they're slower. They have 28 speed, and then you get the faster units coming in as reinforcements, right? So it gets you a little bit quicker and give you the business. So 2 cultists fighting here in the pits. Looks like Nurgle is kind of holding back the tide for now, but they're going to be running out of steam soonish. Double Cultist here, though, might be enough to kind of give them the win in that regard. Houseplant and Nurgle here chasing down the Khornate forces. Khorne just buying time, just trying to hold the objective for as long as they can. And it looks like the Exalted Bloodletters did eventually come away from that objective. And look at this. As soon as the Exalted Bloodletters came up and through here, the Haggard Nurglings, the Turd Burglars, they're going for it, man. They're going to grab that objective, and we'll see what they can do, man. We'll see what they can do. Middle objective is being contested by Nurgle. Umais is going to be summoning in Fleshhounds of Khorne. A very good response. Fleshhounds of Khorne actually kill Nurglings very, very quickly. And a single Bloodletter unit will be able to solo 2 Nurglings. So I think that's good. But will they get there before the Haggard Nurglings actually get on top of the objective? It's hard to say. Now, Umais is up on points right now. He's got 2 caps to 1. This objective appears to have been held by Nurgle. Nice play here, though. Umais actually force paths some Bloodletters past the Nurgle army. And if Nurgle isn't paying attention here, they could actually potentially lose the objective. So that's a nice sneaky little play there. But I don't see Houseplant allowing that to happen. Houseplant's probably going to notice that and be able to kind of slip by and get that. Middle objective is still owned by Khorne, though. Khorne does have a very solid 2 cap. This objective is also being contested, but then he kind of pulls back and goes for a bit of a rear charge there. So maybe a little bit of a miss micro. We got some more spawn moving down there, but Double Cultist will probably be able to hold that all day. And I think that Nurgle will eventually get the middle objective. The spawn of Khorne are being just absolutely slapped in the face by this giant Great Unclean One, just this big chunky boy. Oh my god, he's such a cool model. I love the Great Unclean One. Look at him. The one in Dawn of War 2 is really good too, but this guy is just like the whole, yeah, just the way he moves, the swagger with which he moves, just the confidence. Absolute Chad Nurgle play there. But moving in, breaking off some of the Khorne infantry. We do have the Exalted Bloodletters here, which are trading pretty efficiently. Seems like they're still grinding and fighting well. Khorne is holding on to the 2 points. Objective 1 is being taken by the forces of Khorne, or at least it was threatened, but it looks like Nurgle is going to be able to secure that. Objective 3, though, the little turds are maybe going to get it. That would actually be a huge, huge win, man. If Nurgle can get that, oh my god. That would be a big one. Currently, the value is like dead even. It's very close, which isn't necessarily good for Khorne because Nurgle has healing, right? So that's a little bit different. Like the actual value is probably like more like 1,000 for Nurgle if we're looking at like the actual state of the game. But Khorne is holding on to the middle objective. They are up on points by about 1,000, and Nurgle does jack the back objective. So just like we kind of talked about earlier, when that Bloodletter unit left and they were able to get that, that was a really brutal play. But I mean, Khorne should get this back. Like this unit, squad here, the Bloodletters and the dogs, will easily cleave through all this stuff, especially if the Herald comes down here and helps. In the meantime, it looks like Big Papa Nurgle probably going to wrestle the middle objective here. I don't know if Khorne's going to be sending more units down there. They're still reinforcing the top, which is quite curious. They got spawn moving up, but those damn cultists are just so tough to kill. And look how beat this Nurgle army is right here. But you'll notice that these spawn are actually pretty close to healing cap because of the fecundity. So Nurgle has been using their army ability, which is fecundity, to get the free healing on all these units. And it's been so cost effective. It hits the cultists, the Exalted Plague Bearers. Talk about value city. Now, Nurgle is getting the middle objective right here. They are certainly cackling all the way to the bank while the big man continues to drop his bell and beat down the Bloodletters. And, yeah, Umai's looking like he's on the back foot a little bit. I mean, Nurgle is probably going to have a triple cap here, and I would imagine Umai's probably will withdraw at that point. I don't know what other tricks of the trade he'll have left. In terms of value, he's falling behind now. The Great Unclean One has been too much of a problem. He has been too thick and too proud, and he is just, he's doing it. I love that bell animation. I'm trying to think what my favorite one is. Let's actually just watch this majestic creature attack for a second. Yo, yes, dude, look at that. Just look at the weight with which he walks. He looks like when, like, I've been at many a Magic the Gathering tournaments, and some of you guys in chat probably play Magic, right? You ever been in like a Magic tournament and somebody yells judge and then the judge doesn't hear them? So then the player has to get up and walk to the judge. This looks like an angry Magic the Gathering player who yelled judge because they're not getting their way in a game. And they're like walking angrily down the aisle to go, you know, get the judge. That's like, just for some reason, that image was conjured into my head right there. So looking around, Nurgle is able to kind of grind on the middle point. Here, Khorne is going to get this one back. Points are pretty damn even, actually. I mean, dead even, but obviously Nurgle is coming in with the dreaded triple cap here. Khorne should be able to get this, though. The Nurglings here are going to get crumped. Forsaken are coming across with more Nurgling support. These 2 units should defeat these 2 units and get that point. Now right here, the Exalted Great Unclean One, just doing his sumo stance, and able to crump. Able to do it. I don't see any chances, really, because, like, who's going to deal with that Great Unclean One? Like, if you had, like, a Scarbrand or a Greater Demon of some sort, they could definitely fight him and you know, do some work, but overall, I think Big Man Nurgle is gonna be claiming victory here. Spawn of Corn. I feel like it was a bit of a mistake from Umais to keep sending units up to this high ground. I think if he had sent those units like elsewhere and maybe just left like one unit here, you know, that'd be my guess. Judge! Yeah, no, it's always funny. Yeah, there's all sorts of shenanigans. When you get to like really high level competitive Magic, it can get pretty degenerate for sure. Magic the Gathering. I've been to a couple tournaments and heard some horror stories, and I'm like, oh my god, there's some really... Yeah, it's very specific. Turin tangents, I love it. Yeah, always a good time, man. Bloodletters fighting off the Forsaken. Bloodletters theoretically are quite good against Forsaken, but you know, just sheer numbers is at stake here. And now Houseplant is up by like basically 5,000 value, 4,000 value with the healing taken into account, and Umais is trying to scrap, but that's got to be GG. I would imagine we're gonna have a withdrawal here relatively soon. Arrow used to play a lot of MTG, so did I. GG, well played. With that, Houseplant is going to be the victor. He has done it. And now, this is quite big, because the Houseplant has not only done Nurgle proud. I actually think Nurgle is very good against Khorne. This was the matchup I was able to do well against Umais in, right? It was pretty much the exact same. But he will win 3-0. Very decisive. And on top of that, we can go on over to the website. And let's take a look. Boom. Hasn't been updated quite yet. Let's see if the players updated it. Did they update that? Come on, guys. Let's get this business together here. Okay, not yet. They're going to update that. And as soon as they do, we'll refresh the main page. And we should see a changing of the guard. The new leaderboard champion is going to be Houseplant, which is pretty darn cool. Nurgle doing work? Yeah, Nurgle lost a couple today and won a couple. Nurgle's in a good place right now, I think. I don't think Nurgle's OP. I think they're like playing as they should be. Umais, ever the sportsman, saying GG, well played, Houseplant. Yeah, Houseplant went bananas. And is going to be overtaking Void Lulls for the #1 spot. Still, Houseplant is undefeated. Wow. So in, what is that going to be? 20 matches? Not a single match loss. Oh, Umais, no worries, man. Hey, Umais, man, we appreciate you coming back to play, man. I know you had some IRL stuff come up. It's just, thank you for doing us a favor so I didn't have to go in and be sacrificed. Although, you know, I would want to earn it. Come on, update it, Houseplant. I know you want to. Yes. And here it is. Houseplant has taken over. #1 spot in the leaderboard. 4 tournament wins, 20 wins, and 0 losses. Very, very impressive. Professor Pone will be back, I'm sure, to try and claim victory here. But the Houseplant is #1. Void Lulls down to #2. And Evenstar sitting at #3 with a lot of games played. So we will see, my friends. It's going to be good. Yeah, 20-0 now. 20-0. I know, isn't that impressive? So this tournament for tonight is concluded, my friends. We have a Siege tournament going on tomorrow, which is going to be being played on the Total Tavern website. And yeah, we got a handful of players signed up. This one's going to be hosted by Umais. So the gentleman who just did very well in the grand finals there is going to be hosting this, and it's going to be casted by Dob Plays. Ziggy, thank you. Thanks for the relaxing Saturday entertainment. Congrats to Houseplant. Hey, you got it. That was really... Professor Pone, he's super quick on the draw. He didn't take any prisoners there. So, one sec, my friends. That is the 3-0 victory. And now, we can chill out for a little bit. We can have like a post-game show where we hang out. GG, well played. Houseplant just going bananas. He's got the 420 rank. Yeah, he does. All right, one sec, guys. Dude, I know. That's a really, really solid run. All right, so somebody wanted to see vampire counts. So we're looking at like second-hand minis. Vampire counts are actually pretty easy to get into. Like, their models are cheap. Yeah, you have the Terrorgeists. I think Crypt Flares. The Ghoul King. Oh my god, look at the Ghoul King. That's actually not a bad mini. He's like plastic. Crypt Horrors right here. Those minis are actually really good too. Like, vampire counts when Old World comes out probably won't need too many updates. You know? Probably wouldn't. Crypt Horrors, you got Crypt Flares. I don't even know what Crypt Flares are. Are those Vargeists? Those look like Vargeist models to me. I'm not sure. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Deadwalker zombies. These are the new zombies, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's only 10, 13 bucks for all that. A lot of Crypt Horrors are being sold. Graveguard, yeah, the Graveguard models are pretty cool. I like these ones. Yeah, they're really classic. Their faces look so much better than... Dude, this one's cool. The one that has like the chain veil mask. Oh, I love that. Crypt Flayers, yeah. Have you theory crafted any Death Guard lists? Yeah, I'm going to be playing Terminus Est. So I'm going to be playing like Mass Infantry. There's a ton of them on here too. Yeah, Crypt Ghouls. Oh, look at the Vargulf. Holy shit, that's a cool retro model right there. Yeah, these are End Times models, the Morghast Harbingers. These are End Times Vampire Counts units. So Vampire Counts could theoretically get those. Terrorgeist are like a huge centerpiece model, and these things are only like $20 or something like that. It's pretty crazy. Here's Ark in the Black riding on his mighty steed. Yeah, this looks like a Mortis engine right here. Karen Wraiths, Spirit Hosts, yeah. A lot of skeletons, man. Classic. Like, you could probably drop a couple $100 and get a Vampire Count army for Old World. Like, I would say like $200-300, and you could probably get a decent starting army. Just get like some skeletons, grave guards, some characters, and like one big monster, and you're probably on your way to having a Vampire Count Old World army, I would imagine. Yeah, Black Knights are pretty cool. A lot of them are painted, but again, stripping paint isn't very hard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Mortis engine. Oh, that's a Undead Lord Champion. That looks like it was kit bashed. Quest Catacombs Terror Tomb Guardian. Oh man, there's some retro models on here. It's really fun looking through these. I just sit here at night and I just like look at these minis. You want to see Shartor the Executioner? We already showed him. But there's literally like 15 pages of these units. Yeah, there's 15 pages. Yeah, here's a Mortis engine, right? This is a true Mortis engine. Oh, this is a cool one. It's only $25 for this huge model. Jeez. I mean, you could strip this paint pretty easily. Because this is mostly like wash. It looks like they use Nihilic Oxide. Mortis engines are actually pretty easy to paint. Here's Neferata. She's pretty cool. Ark in the Black. Tomb Banshee. Oh, here's an evil cackling necromancer as well. Mourngul. Holy shit, look at that thing. Jesus. Here's Krell. Krell, Lord of the Undead. Oh, it's the OG Krell model, dude. Yeah, man, look at Krell. Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if they have Heinrich. Let's see. I don't even know how to spell it. They probably don't. No, they don't have him. Or maybe I spelled it wrong. So we'll do a little bit more looking around. Is there anything else you guys want to see while we're here? You want to see Demons of Chaos? Oh my god, the Demons of Chaos models from Warhammer Fantasy are so haggard. We'll look at Nurgle for you guys. It's probably going to be mostly Nurglings and stuff. Yeah, it's just like Nurglings and Heralds and like it's not that retro. Yeah, it's not as fun to look at. Yeah, here's the Rotflies. You can see like the vintage box right there. A couple great unclean ones. Holy shit. Oh my god. Look at this old great unclean one. Look at that thing, dude. Look at that. Holy shit. Oh my god. Look at this monstrosity. Action Hank says, is it a bad time to get an AOS? Recently picked up some Sky Dwarf ships. No, it's never a bad time to get an AOS, man. AOS is a good game. It's fun to play. So, if you like the models and you like the lore, go for it, dude. Don't let anybody tell you, gatekeep you or anything like that. Yeah, this website has great deals, man. This is where I've gotten my entire Empire army from Fantasy, more or less. Dark Elves, Lizardmen, Ogre Kingdoms. Let's look at some Dark Elf units. I wonder if they have Malekith on here. Yeah, Dread Spears, Witch Elves. There's a Sorceress. Dark Riders. Dark Rider models are actually pretty cool. Yeah, those things are rad, man. And the Black Ark Fleetmaster, like this model is still really good. Yeah, like look, that model is great. It's really good. Hag Queen. Dude, the War Hydra is rad. That model is really cool. This apparently was like a really rare model, the Fleetmaster with the Carmine Dragon. So it has like a Corsair guy riding it. I think, yeah, let's actually... Oh, he's on the ground. Oh, shit, okay, so the guy put him on the ground. I wonder how that thing actually played. Avatar of Cain. Dark Elf team, yeah, there's like Blood Bowl. So this is Hellebron right here. Have you guys seen the Hellebron model? Everyone wants to see Tau. Nobody wants to see Tau. Yeah, that's actually a good model. Like, Hellebron is pretty solid. I think that's the actual model. I'm not sure. But Hellebron's model looks pretty rad. I wonder if they have Marathi on here. They probably do. Executioners are also one of the coolest models in the game. Like, the paint job is not bad on these Executioners, but they look so cool. Yeah, you can get all your Warhammer Fantasy minis. Let's look up some characters while we're chilling. Marathi. By the way, if you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like before you head on out. It does help out quite a bit, especially for these late night streams. Okay, so it mainly... Oh, shit. It does have old school Marathi on the Dark Pegasus. Be careful, they might have... Yeah, here's Marathi on the Pegasus. Yeah, it's a good thing that the horse is blocking that, right? Yeah. Oh, man, okay. Malekith? Let's see if they have Malekith. No, it doesn't look like they have him. Did I spell that wrong? I think that's how you spell it, Malekith. Yeah. I know they have Karl Franz. I'm pretty sure they have some Franz models. Holy shit, look at the retro Franz. Oh my god. Have you guys seen this model? Holy shit. Look at that thing, dude. What the hell is going on? It's the Prince and Emperor. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, they have Malice on the website. Malice is here. He's looking nice and crusty. Not as crusty as that Franz though. All right, let's see Malice Darkblade. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I mean, this looks like a metal model. So if you like strip the paint off this, it would definitely look a lot better, and you could repaint it. Holy shit! So they do have Malice. I love the retro models, man. They're so cool. I wonder if they have I wonder if Torok's had a model. Let's see if he's on here. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, here's some other named characters. That's a crazy paint scheme. He does love his hats. Yeah, no, the Empire always has like the floppy hats of doom. Let's see if they have Balthazar Gelt. I've been wanting to get a Balthazar Gelt model, but it's so expensive, dude. I can't bring myself to pay like $50. You guys ready for this? Welcome to Astalia, gentlemen. I will not lie, my paint scheme might be terrible. Like, I would love to get a Balthazar Gelt model and just paint it up. And when, Old World eventually comes out, you just use him as like a metal wizard or something. Oh, Balthazar. Volkmar actually has a couple really good models, but Volkmar has two models. He has an old one and a new one. You guys want to see Queek? Yeah, so this is the old model. I have the new model, but this is the old Haggard one, which is actually not bad, but this is like straight 90s shit. Like, look at this. Oh my god. Have you seen Volkmar's original pimp wagon before they updated it? This is the original war altar of Sigmar. Look at the glorious haggardness. Imagine rolling up to a tabletop game and just like giving your opponent the business with this thing. Like, nothing would be worse than that. Like, if this thing beat me, I would be so sad if this thing beat me. Like, this guy just like with his like T-pose just like rolled over me. Look, even the bird, the griffin monster in the back is doing like a T-pose. Oh my god. I have the new Volkmar the Grim model. It's really good. The one that they did in 8th edition. But this is the one from like the Dark Ages. Okay, what else did you guys want to see? Croak? Yeah, Croak has a new model. That's good. Kolek, I don't think has a model on here. No, I don't think he's on here. Dude, imagine being defeated by that thing. Oh my god, Gelt looks... He does! Dr. Slippy, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you, man. Katarine? Oh yeah, Katarine's on here. I think. Let's see. I saw her the other night when I was browsing. Ice Queen, I think it is. Yeah, here it is. Here's the Ice Queen of Kislev. The Kislev did have some models. This isn't a bad paint job. That's not bad at all. It's probably a metal model. But this is the Ice Queen model, I think, that they had for Kislev. They do have Boris in here. But Kislev is going to get a full makeover, probably, for Old World, so... Like, that model's not terrible. I mean, it's retro, but, like, it's definitely passable. Archeon has some really cool old models. Boris. Boris is on here, also. Check this shit out. Tsar Boris, dude, the man. Look how pimp he is on his bear. Yeah, that's a really old school model, but here's Tsar Boris. You want Queek? I'd be down to paint that. He's got like the old Kislev models are really, really, really haggard. Like, let me show you. They look like Fisher Price toys. Like, look at this. That looks like a Fisher Price toy. Like something you'd buy at like Toys R Us in like 1995. Holy shit. All right. Next up, what do we got? You want to look up Skaven characters? Let's see all the Skaven characters. Oh, that's not bad at all, dude. Queek's model is actually pretty sick. Clawlord Queek Headtaker. Like, with a good paint job, this would actually be sick. He's got like a really nice dynamic pose. That's cool. Queek's model is pretty rad. You can see he's got the dwarf gouger and I don't know why these other models came up. Yeah, it's like Cad Queens, but yeah, here's one of Queek's more recent models. This is the one that has the trophy rack in the back. Like Queek's model is pretty good actually. Yeah, here's one like you could totally get this and just strip the paint. Ickit. Let's see if they have Ickit Claw. Skaven Engineer. Like the Ickit Claw models in the new Skaven. Let me see if I can find it. Hey, John.
A dinner and a movie ready.
I'll be right there, Princess. What? Yeah, so this is Ickit's on the website somewhere. I'm not sure. Skarsnik. Skarsnik's old model's pretty good actually. He should be on here. Oh yeah, here he is. Skarsnik's gone through some good times. This is a pretty wild paint scheme on him, but this is the old Skarsnik model. It's really good actually. Like if you paint it well, the old Skarsnik model stands the test of time. You can see you can get one here. Yeah, Skarsnik and Gobbler right here. You can get it. This Games Workshop is still selling this model. It's technically like a Gloomspire gets one. Oh, somebody replaced him with a Hound instead of a Squig. And here's like the super retro model. Look at that. This is so much fun, dude. Why don't we do this more? Just like going through all these minis. Holy shit, this is great. All right. Who else do we need to look up? Grimgore? Holy shit. I wonder if Grimgore is he on the website? Oh, Grimgore. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, you know, Grimgore looks pretty badass still. Yeah, he's got like his like heavy plate on and shit. Dude, Grimgore's model is not bad. I mean, it's retro, but it like still holds up. Oh, he's like holding a state trooper's head. Holy shit. Okay. Dude, Grimgore is such a Chad. Look at that guy. Grom the Paunch is another one as well. Alex, thank you for the donation. Oh, okay. So guys, this is Grom the Paunch's goblin. This is like his little goblin that holds his flag. See, but like I think there was a Grom the Paunch on the website, but somebody bought it. I remember seeing it. I saw it a couple months ago. All right, Marcus Wolfhard time. You ready? Marcus's model is sweet. I would buy this if it wasn't so damn expensive because I would use it in my Empire army as something or other. But like that model's good. I like this shit. Like I want this model. This is really cool, but it's like super rare. So it's like $100 or something. Something absurd. The most I would pay for this would probably be like $30-40. Yeah, that's a cool one though. Marcus Wolfhard. What are some other characters you guys want to see? You need to let me know so I can keep searching. Mazda. I think Mazda Mundi, is he going to be here? No. Maybe if I look up his like Lizardman in Warhammer Fantasy, they have a lot of stuff on the website because Lizardman is still played in Age of Sigmar, so the models are still in circulation. I wish I could search by characters though. Yeah, like look how good the Lizardman models are. They're still really great. Like this is so badass. Yeah, this is Krokgar, see, so you can see. Here's a Krokgar. Dude, how cool is that? Like with a little bit of a better paint job, this would look so good. He's got like the hand of the gods and like that's Grimlock. So that's Krokgar and Grimlock right there. Yeah, you can still get like so many of the old Warhammer Fantasy models, which will be usable again when Old World comes out. So these are like I have a conspiracy theory that like a lot of this stuff is pretty cheap right now, but when Old World comes out, I think people are going to clean out these websites. Because like people are going to want to get into the game, and this will be one of the best ways to get those like models. I really think they're going to get cleaned out. All right, so looking here, Ungrim. Oh, Ungrim, what a Chad! What a Chad, dude! Look at this guy, so squat, dude. How alpha male is that Ungrim Iron Fist? Yes, dude. Imagine that Terror in the Night charging your mighty 2020 model or whatever. What do they have Thorgrim? They don't have Thorgrim on here, unfortunately. Archeon? I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, so here's Retro. They have new Archeon, which is like the big one. But like, holy shit, this is a really nicely painted one. Dude, this model is so sick. Look at this thing. And so whoever painted this did a great job. This is the vintage Archeon model. And that... I honestly like this way more. Like, I would almost buy this just to lead my Chaos Army if I had one. Dude, that is so good. So this is Retro Archeon. His new model, he rides like this giant End Times Hellbeast thing. But this is like more or less what his old one looks like. He's like mounted on this horse that's like rearing. Dude, that Archeon model is cool. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of them actually for sale. Rakarth? Okay, let's look up Rakarth. I wonder if he's on here. We'll see. No, they don't have him. Yeah, they don't have him. Yeah, they have the Rakarth guy from 40K. Techless. They probably have the new Techless because Techless is an Age of Sigmar, so they'll probably have that one. Do we have Retro Techless? No, but they have an entire army for sale. You can see, I think he's in this army. So that's Turin right there. You guys see that? So this is a high elf army that you could buy, like fully. Yeah, see, they have Techless back here, and then they have Turin. That's really cool, and I can't tell who that is. Then they have like some bolt throwers and things like that. It's like a really nice retro army right there. It's actually, yeah, Turin and Techless. It's a pretty good deal actually. If you're a big high elf fan, I suppose. A little bit overpriced, maybe. It's hard to say. They're really out of print. But yeah, Tyrion's model is really cool. You can see him right here. Yeah. Nice army. I can't tell the paint quality of those minis. I would probably ask for more pictures before I would like consider that. Also, you know, I would recommend guys like, obviously if you're buying to play an old world, I would wait to see like, I have no idea if they're going to have like all the factions available right away or whatever. So you kind of want to be careful before you dive into it, I suppose. Inkari? I don't know. Inkari does have a model? I don't know. Probably spelled that wrong. OG Bloodthirster, Slanesh. Sigvald. You guys wanted Sigvald. They might have Sigvald's OG model here. Yeah, was that Emmerich? Here's Retro Sigvald. This is like the new Sigvald, which honestly, they'll probably just use him in Old World. I would imagine the new one, but this is Retro Sigvald right here. It's only $15 actually. Like the paint job's pretty haggard here, but you could totally just like strip that paint and then just repaint him. Pretty good. It's like not a bad model, really, for considering how old it is. Hey, I'm enjoying the site too. It's quite slow. I think you sent too much traffic to their server. I actually emailed this site. I was like, I wanted to like work with them somehow because I like use it all the time. I'm like, dude, it's like, yeah, it's such a good deal. And they have 40K too. Like whatever you're into, you can find here. Like I buy a ton of cheap stuff on here. Whenever I get a friend into the hobby, I send them here, you know? Let's see. Who else do you guys want to see? Throg? Oh, they might actually have the Throg model. I've seen the Throg model. It's pretty good. I think it's 2Gs. Oh, yeah. Dude, big pimpin'. Dude, look at this guy. Hell yeah, dude. That model's sick. Look at that forearm, dude. This guy, you guys know what this guy does with this arm. He definitely gets busy with that arm right there. Dude, look at the cape, too. That's cool. He's got, like, all these ornaments and, like, dwarf beards on it and shit. The Throg model's really good. And Kari never had a model. That's too bad. Throt has a model. Okay, guys. Only one or two more. The wife and I are going to go see a movie. Throt, is it 1T? Typing some of these characters. I mean, obviously these models exist, but it just means he doesn't have them for sale on this website. Eltharion? Let's see if Eltharion's on here. Oh! Eltharion the Blind. Oh, that's cool. So this must have been one of Eltharion's phases. Yeah, this is like, Eltharion is like this blind duelist character. That's pretty cool, actually. And then Eltharion on a dragon. Oh, holy shit. Dude, look at this. Oh, look at the legs, dude. He's like just fully like sticking those things out. Eltharion, the Grim Warden, dude. He's coming. Imagine this guy coming for you. Yeah, and then this is the new Eltharion from Age of Sigmar, which is really, really cool. But obviously it's not like fantasy. It's like Sigmar. Here's Eltharion on Stormwing. This is one as well. Yes, dude. Super Chad. All right, last one here, guys. Last one, and then I'm out of here. This is Lewin. Oh, yeah. Look at Big Daddy Lewin. This model actually isn't bad. Somebody painted this quite nicely, actually. What movie? I'm not sure. Anna picked it out, so I don't know. This is a pretty well-painted model. Yeah, this is Lewin on his bird. Pretty classic. Like, this one's super outdated. Like, here's how King Lewin looks, right? Okay. And then you have Karl Franz. Karl Franz's model looks straight up modern. And this is the model I have. General of the Empire. So Karl Franz comes on this model. Where is it? It's on the bird, yeah. So this is Karl Franz's current model. Which is really good. Like this one's damaged actually, but like the model is amazing. I have this in my army. I painted it, but I didn't paint it as Karl Franz because he wasn't alive during the time period I think that the Old World's going to take place in. So I just painted it as a generic kind of like general on a bird. But this model is sweet. This is definitely a really nice paint job too. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. We'll maybe do that more often on stream where we just kind of like mess around and look at shit. But yeah, there's a lot more to dig through. So if you guys want to check out the website, just go to trolltrader.com, or it's the Troll Trader. I have no affiliation with this website, for the record. They don't sponsor me. There's nothing like that. So, I mean, check it out at your own interest there. Got like Ogre Kingdoms, all kinds of cool shit on the website. But yeah, pretty rad. We'll do it another time. I think that's a fun thing to do in between games. Eventually, I'm going to start a tabletop channel too. So, all right, guys, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Really appreciate those last couple donations there at the end. Helps a lot. Greatly appreciate it. And congratulations to Houseplant for winning tonight's tournament. That was an absolute blast. Take care, my friends. Appreciate you all. We'll see you back tomorrow. Probably going to have an Age of Empires stream. Try and, play some ranked games. GG, well played. And perfect. We are all closed out for the night. Adios, my friends. See you next time. That is it for now.